Hi, Zizaran here, and welcome back to another Stalling featuring Mathil, Quinn, and Steelmage. Thank you all for joining me.
Pleasure to be here, Ziz. Love it.
Always the most excited. Well, I figured we could start with it's probably been talked to death, but we just had ExileCon and PoE 2. Do a quick favorite thing from everyone about ExileCon, starting with Quinn.
Meeting the fans, they're just so nice. Totally normal guys, really sane and don't smell.
You talking about meeting my fans or yours?
Yeah, no, it's good. It was all good, dude. I don't know. It's all good. It's pretty neat. It was cool. I mean, my favorite thing is not actually part of Excel. It's just like chilling with the boys. Let's be honest.
That's fair. That's fair. So, honestly, I only noticed one guy that smelled, which is pretty impressive for a convention of that size. Mathil, favorite thing?
I mean, yeah, just a bit of time off, like time away, and then hang with people of like-minded interests, and I guess you could say friends at this point.
Nice.
If we can go that far. And then I don't know, meeting the fans. Yeah, it is actually like unironically just it's good to see that visual representation of everything you do being kind of like validated. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it doesn't always feel so real.
It makes it feel a bit more real. Absolutely. It's also a bit humbling.
Mm-hmm.
Also, before we go to Steel, did nobody else but me get COVID? Was it just me?
No COVID, yeah.
No COVID.
Damn,
no COVID.
I've still never had COVID.
Yeah, I had never had it until ExileCon. To be fair, I didn't have it very bad, so I can't complain. Steel, favorite thing?
D4 Season 1. I bought a laptop and... I'm just kidding. No, I was going to say people, and then Quinn said that, and then I was going to say the time off, and then Mathil said that. So, yeah, I don't know.
So you're not allowed to have the same favorite thing. That's how that works.
You have to invent something new. So your favorite thing of ExileCon was Diablo 4?
No, it was me. I did log on, but yeah, I don't know. I was reading the patch notes with Noogie before we boarded our plane, and I was like fucking sad, dude.
Yeah.
Did you buy a laptop just so you could play it while you're over here? Did you feel scammed then?
No, because
no reason for a laptop.
Because Exile and Tai both practiced on my laptop, so some good came out of it. So it was okay.
No, I don't think it did.
Cursed laptop, bro. Cursed. Like straight up, what the fuck?
Yeah. No good came of that one.
True.
I think if I have to throw in something new, my favorite thing was the card game. I fucking love that shit. It's just so fun, dude. And Airsoft. Airsoft. I wish you would. I don't think you were in New Zealand already when we did Airsoft, but next time we'll rope you into it. I don't know. Have you ever played before?
No, not Airsoft. Paintball.
Paintball next time for sure.
Okay.
Paintball next time.
Fuck Airsoft.
Yeah.
Shirtless paintball, right?
I mean, Quinn was crazy.
Yeah.
He was playing his shorts and t-shirt. His arms were fucked.
Yeah.
I keep picking the scabs off, and it keeps coming back like that. All the marks.
You still have marks.
It's really annoying.
Oh my god.
And everyone's calling me meth boy and stuff because that looks like it's like some sort of drug addiction.
Yeah, I think I saw a clip of you convincing somebody you don't do meth.
That was at the Boulder Fest. Not the Boulder, at the Boulder stream.
Yeah, oh my god, that's so crazy hard. That specific area is like we boulder in Belfast and it's so much easier. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, if you went to the second gym, that had probably a bit easier routes for the early stuff. That would have been better for you.
Yeah, definitely very beginner still. I honestly I feel more accomplished in Belfast because I can do like the third easiest and not like the actual easiest. Here it was like the easiest was like, okay, I'm MacGyver now. Great. Yeah. And
get stronger.
Yeah, I need to work out more. I honestly think doing like weights would help me a lot because like my arm strength just isn't there. I have none. Whereas like both you and Quinn were doing like crazy shit. Yeah.
Pull-ups. I'm telling you, we don't have a rock on place where I'm at. So I was like, what can I do? And then I was like, I can do some pull-ups.
You'll get more dad strength.
True.
Like
Bro.
you have to throw your kids around while you got to carry them more. Like that's where the dads get the strength, man.
Yeah, I should just hold him more. He is actually getting pretty heavy. And speaking of X.com, we got the announcement that not only are we getting PoE 2, but we get to keep PoE 1. The game's being split. Yeah, I really didn't see that coming. People were kept like, apparently there were leaks and stuff. I legitimately thought the leaks were fake. I saw it like 6 hours before, and I was like, nah, there's no way. People would think this is stupid. And yeah, Mathil, initial thoughts on like the gameplay? What did you choose to play?
Warrior. In the prison Izaro zone. So yeah, fuck me, right? Basically, just go. Yep, let's pick any one of the random zones, and it's lab. Basically, like it wasn't quite lab, but yeah, it's still a similar vibe to it. I mean, I don't know. It was okay. Like visually, it felt great. It's something you really have to get your head around being a different thing altogether. Because like as I've had more time to like settle in and think about it and all that, after the fact, like we need to just approach it completely differently and like think about it completely differently. Because like immediately I was going, oh, how's this feel compared to PoE1? You know, I feel nerfed or slower or some shit like that. But I mean, realistically, yeah, it's like you're not even supposed to think about it as the same sort of game. There's some similar systems and some shit, and you know you've got a base understanding of the game because of that, but it should just be very different. So yeah, I think I was still comparing it to PoE1 a bit too much, and I didn't have much time to actually go through it on the initial impression, so it was tough to just kind of like speedrun and get destroyed.
Yeah.
But I did try the Sork the next day, and I didn't get to try the Huntress when probably should have.
Huntress is fun.
Yeah. From what I've heard, that's the one. And if I was gonna pick one, you know, just off of my own pure desires, typically it'd probably be the Huntress and like throwing some jabs and stuff. Either way, yeah, look, like it felt good. I wanted more. I didn't really play that much because I was super busy with everything else. But as soon as I got home and like realized what I was gonna stream next and like do next, I was just like thinking to myself, man, I actually wish I could just play the beta a whole fuck ton right now. Like I wish I could just go do that. So I had a yearning for it, and yeah.
That's good. That's good. And do you think well, I mean, it's just speculation, obviously, but do you think it's going to stay around the same pace that we were playing, or do you think it'll be a lot faster once you get to like customize your own builds and stuff?
No, way faster. I think we were set up to just be very slow and kind of foul. Like all of our gear, all of our characters were super just dumbed down and designed to struggle. And I think it's going to feel a lot closer to what it feels like going through the campaign right now, PoE1, but still they're going to try and make sure that at least early on you're like doing proper combat and engaging monsters and all that. But I have faith that it's not going to feel too slow or like what we just experienced.
Yeah. Ben looks like he's having audio issues. Oh no.
No, I'm good. Yeah, it was fucked up. I was gonna say, if you watch the interview with Chris Wilson and Mark, like Neon Mark, with Subtractium, they talk about this very thing, and he basically saying they're gonna make it so you know you can still blast, still juice, still get power and stuff, but there's gonna be like speed limits. So they're not gonna let it get out of control as PoE1.
Yeah.
So you know, instead of being able to get to like 10,000 miles per hour, you know, you'd be able to get it like whatever, 300 miles per hour or something. Which sounds kind of like, I don't know.
From 10,000 to 300 sounds pretty bad for a lot of people. I don't think it'll be that extreme, but...
I can't remember if that was the exact analogy, but he was like, yeah, you know, we're going to let you go fast. You can go real fast.
But only 3%.
But there's going to be limits. So there's going to be limits so that you can see what's happening on the screen, right? So it's not just complete, like, just visual whatever. Like, oh, there's, you know, you attack and the entire screen's covered in, like, animations and everything. You know. So they're going to put limits. So it sounds like it's definitely going to be slower in the long run, though.
Yeah.
100%.
And what did you play at XLCon?
I only played for one time, and I played a little bit of the Barb because Matthew was sitting next to me, and he was like, "You got to play this to get." He wanted me to suffer. Yeah, it was pretty pain champ and everything. But to be honest, I don't know. I feel like I haven't really played PoE2, honestly. And I feel like I can't even give it a proper, like I can't give it a proper vibe check because of the fact that Mate, when I'm playing at home, I'm playing with one of these things. Okay, not playing with a keyboard.
The
I'm
fuck
playing with
is
this,
that?
and then on top of that, I'm playing with my, I've got multiple monitors, got my big ass computer screen that runs at like 140 FPS.
The battle
I
station.
got all my custom. Yeah, I got the battle
Yeah.
station, and that's how I'm used to playing games. When I'm sitting there playing on their weird peripherals
Yeah.
with keyboards I'm not used to,
I hated that.
and the frame rate was like 50 FPS, and I'm sitting there going like, this just feels weird, and it feels like I don't feel like I've played PoE2 until I play it at my computer with my peripherals, with my setup. I don't really feel like I've experienced what the game actually is. So I don't know. I just don't,
Yeah.
I wish we could do that, right?
I gotta
When's
echo
open
that.
beta, bro?
I gotta echo that. That actually feels dog shit, especially like playing with no mouse pad and stuff, and on a like weird bulky desk where the mouse isn't moving properly. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the sensitivity of the mouse
Yeah.
is just messed up.
Yeah.
Like completely messed up. So it's like, I don't know. And it was all those things that were just so disorienting that it's really hard to even, feel like you've even played the game properly.
Yeah.
Because there's multiple layers between you and the game that are like hindering you from like encumbering you from actually having a proper experience, which, they did the best they could with the setups, but it's just not enough for a big day gamer like me or you or any of the guys who like to play on like $10,000 PCs,
Yeah, absolutely. Deal. Your experience with PoE2?
Yeah, so I was going to play when I did my showcase, but I got food poisoning and I was not feeling up to it. So I didn't actually get a chance to play.
At all?
But not at all. But Vero also didn't play the beta, and his reasoning kind of resonated with me in hindsight. The game is like literally the version of the game that you guys got to play is not representative of the game that we will play, X amount of time from now. And it's so far away as well that there's going to be so many changes anyway that because I think he was saying that the way they've done the beta is probably very tailored. Like the damage values aren't necessarily real. It's not balanced. You know what I mean? So honestly, I don't think I missed out on as much by not playing it as I would have thought. So I'm okay with it.
That's fair.
But yeah, no, I did think the goal with the gameplay, at least, again, having not been able to play it, you guys will have to tell me if I'm right or not. They're trying to delete the like arcadey gameplay and have more like you actually dodge this, you feel like you're hitting this. Like I don't know what you would call that, but more responsive, more fluid, whatever you want to call it. Less like run around one shot, that gameplay loop. They're trying to like get rid of it because it's not that they don't like it, because they like it for PoE 1, but that's part of the reason I guess they're separating it so that they still have that.
They're still gonna let you hit the. I feel like they're still gonna let you get to the power fantasy. They just don't want you to. Well, for starters, you think about it. If they give you too much straight away as well, and then they take it away, what's gonna happen? Everyone's gonna get really mad, right? So I feel like they deliberately they're inching it out, right? They're deliberately making it hard, and then they're gonna make it easier as you go. But I feel like they know the game's gonna power creep. They know they're gonna have loads of items and combinations that let you make crazy shit. I feel like it's just they don't want to, they're just starting it slow, so that way, they don't set expectations too high, and then do you know what, this is too fast, change it back. Everyone has a mental breakdown,
Yeah, I was witnessing a conversation between Neon, he's like the PoE2 lead for those who don't know, and Grimro. And Grimro was like, yo, Neon, yo. So Spark, it's like pretty similar to PoE 1. What's stopping me from just pressing Spark on everything? And he had this conversation with one button gameplay versus, multi-button gameplay. And from what I can tell, they don't want you to just run around pressing Spark or Lightning Arrow. They don't want that, and they're going to fight that. So there's going to be some pushback.
Yeah, there'll be big pushback on that. And Methil, did you have a response to Steel? It looked like you were smiling a lot. I don't know.
It was partially a response and partially some of my chat being cut. No, I was going to say, I also went to ExileCon all the way to New Zealand to not play the PoE2 beta still. That's the purpose of doing that. Like, you said it might be a bit slow or not representative of what it's going to be in the end. Yeah, but you're still supposed to do what they put forth for what they wanted you to see and what they wanted you to experience. So it's still representation of their representation of it.
I didn't get to play because I was sick.
Yeah, I was just gonna make fun of Steel and just be like, excuse Andy, you would have played if you could.
Yeah. Dude, I wanted. Okay, so apparently they were letting streamers in really early to like get some practice in, and I woke up. So the night before, I was like, I'm gonna log in 8 a.m., play for like 4 hours, and then do my interview thing. And then I woke up like vomiting and other details that you don't need to hear, and I was just like, fuck.
Damn. Well, so I got to play 3 times. I did the one on stage. The one on stage was fucking terrible because they're like their actual stage setup was the worst one. Like no mouse pad and like everything was like way more scuffed. And my time got cut short. So instead of 45 minutes like we had on the PCs downstairs, I got 25 minutes. I was like, fuck. Okay, I just gotta rush. And I was trying to like speed through everything. And honestly, I fucking hated the sorcerer. I was like, thank fuck they're splitting the game because I hate this. I'm having a horrible time. And that was the only time
Did you try the warrior?
So I got to play the day after with the thing Steel was saying where you got to go in early, and I tried first the Huntress, which felt fucking amazing, and I was like, there's my PoE. This feels great. And that was very one button gameplay, and since it was earlier in Act 2, the gear felt so much better, and I think it was Crypt that actually got an upgrade in one of his playthroughs, and just it was a minor upgrade, but like suddenly he was just one-shotting everything. So like you said, the gear was like dog shit that we were provided. And then I also tried the Warrior, which was also very difficult, like the Sork, but I'd sort of like gotten a bit more used to it and adjusted my playstyle. And one of the devs there offered me $100 if I could kill the like Super Merveil boss. And I had her at like 15%, and then I had to do the meet and greet with Yazzie. And I was like, they were like, yeah, you have to go now. I was like, it wasn't about the $100, obviously. I just like wanted to do it because it was a very cool fight. And I saw people complaining a lot, like, oh, you can't use Leap Slam as a movement ability and stuff anymore, but that's all I was doing. I was like spamming Leap Slam to move. But I don't know. The biggest concern for me, and this is why I'm glad that we played it early, because regardless of anything, right, you can give feedback on things you like or didn't like. So, and best case scenario, it's no longer a problem. They've already adjusted it. Then our feedback is mute. Doesn't matter. But if it's something they're like, oh, we hadn't thought about that, maybe that will feel bad. Crafting is what I'm the most worried about from hearing about them talk about it. With like, I don't love the new Chaos Orb, the whole like remove one, add one, stuff like that. And from like what we've seen of crafting, they're mostly taking things away, right? They haven't like said if we're getting anything new or different or like a new approach to crafting. So I would love to hear more about that as soon as they can tell us.
Isn't it way closer to like combinator crafting though? Because it makes all items on the ground kind of like potentially good, because in fact you can see like, oh, it has a T1 fizz roll, but the other fizz roll is complete trash, right? So you can slam a chaos orb on it, see if you hit. You know, I mean, it does that thing where it creates items that you would normally just throw away in the trash. You know, the potential to just quickly chuck a couple things in it to see if it rolls good, right?
Well, that's what they said in the item talk. You know, the.
Well, I think it does that, right? Bust ground loot, right? I mean, that's literally what it does.
That was their goal, basically.
Which I like. I don't know.
I mean, I'll say right now,
I'm a fan.
That is like a very like nice way of looking at it, because you could apply that same logic to Ruthless Loot, but it doesn't feel that good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like if there's way less customization the way there currently is, like, you know, no crafting bench, no base types and all that, it really feels like it's just going to be another step towards original Diablo 2. Where, like, you know, they go, okay, you're just finding shit and you're hoping to maybe augment a little bit. Whereas the entire point of how PoE 1 came about was, like, to have a whole new system that let you customize a whole bunch of shit. That would feel a bit weird if we took a huge step back like that. Like, there's some positives for sure. Ground loot is great. Like, ground loot in D2 and, you know, even to some extent PoE feels good. You're just finding stuff and going, shit, that's amazing. And, like, immediately seeing it drop. But yeah, if it goes back to a way where we can barely like really do too much own crafting and customizing, that will be shit. I think that will be a step back.
That's definitely my biggest concern. Like, for me, the best favorite like PoE crafting was when we had recombinators, and sure, there were a little bit of P, but what I liked so much about recombinators compared to something like Harvest, I think Harvest was like the worst mistake ever, because Harvest was like very reductive to any other crafting, right? Whereas Recombinators, it like added to everything else. Like suddenly Delve was really exciting to find things, and suddenly I was not just excited to craft, but I was excited to find things too. So I think that's like the only league where we've had both crafting and finding things really exciting.
I mean, as you're talking about, like the PV2 mechanic is kind of like Recombinators, but it's just watered down a little bit, though, right?
I disagree.
Because you're watered down the Recombinators.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to transfer one thing from another.
True, you can't transfer, so you lose certain base types. But generally speaking, if you get a base type with like an okay roll, you've got a chance of salvaging it.
It's just, right? It's just such a lottery, though. Like, I love that right now with crafting. Like, yeah, crafting's too OP right now. Like, 99% of my items ever are crafted, and I'm not a big fan of that. Again, why I love Recombinators. But I don't know. I feel like there's a happy middle ground. Like Last Epoch does really well. I think like they have like the best balance there right now between loot and like,
nice.
Crafted and dropped. But yeah, that's definitely my main concern.
Well, I think I had a conversation with Noogie about this, and I'm trying to remember what he said exactly. But he was saying that they could, because they don't want to. They've said a lot that they're against removing complexity. Like they like complexity. They want accessibility, but they still want the complexity, right? They still want the depth. They like that. So what they could do is they could just give us more tools. Like for example, right? Currently in the game we have Eldritch currency, but we don't have enough access to it, right? So by removing some things and adding stuff like that and giving us more of that, we could craft the items that we get off the ground in more interesting ways. And therefore, you don't have that progression path of items. Like, for example, right? Toxic Rain bows, Explosive Arrow bows, Spell Suppression Fractured, crafting, all that stuff looks very generic. Like, you see a lot of the same gear and a lot of the same builds because crafting, like Ziz was saying, is so OP. So maybe by giving us more of those more interesting tools, we'll have a variety, different spread of itemization in PoE2 with endgame gear while still having all those cool tools and complexity and stuff. And you are starting with ground loot too, so you have like you guys are saying, best of both worlds, right?
Hopefully. I'm just like, that's definitely like what I'm the most scared of. And I was very worried when I saw gold as well. And I feel like we didn't get like an actual final answer on that, because I felt like some people told me it was like, oh, it's just an early game thing for vendors. But then it's also with like gambling and stuff like that as well. But especially
Bloodshots, bro.
Yeah, well, especially if it solves the problem of like the fact that vendors are easier and more accessible for new players. That I think would be amazing. That would be such a great use for gold in PoE. But I hated the idea of like selling identified and things and not getting like alterations and stuff. Like I love alt crafting and shit like that.
I kind of like the gold system. It's easier instead of having all these like little scroll fragments and various fucking your intermediary, like all these, you got like 5 different mini currencies. You just get one, and it goes between. You can just be like, oh, I want to transfer this into this, and you just get it. It simplifies it a little bit. And then also, I think the system, from what I understand, is because of the fact that you don't get to sit there and just craft like one item in your base. Like, you know, Methal's like, I'm gonna just make a fucking bow for my build, and he just sits there and just spams one bow till he gets it right. It's gonna be more like you'll buy mini base types, and you'll attempt. And you know the goal will be used to buy those base types, kind of like you buy base types from like ROG right now, except instead of ROG it'll be whatever the vendor is that sells the fucking base types with gold, and then you'll attempt to craft those. I mean, it's speculation, but I feel like that's more like.
I like a hybrid of that. Like I loved base types the way they were in like Tempest, where you would get like a Volax, and Volaxes were like pretty rare, right? There would be like 15 to 25 chaos. At least in hardcore. You craft it to like a decent amount, sell it on, and then buy a new one. But like base types are still something that was exciting. But I wouldn't want they would like literally need to start. I don't know. I think it's a bit too extreme for me. I'm just so worried about it. It's like the number one thing, probably I would still do, but I haven't been asked recently. But like my favorite thing about PoE is the currency system and how like expansive it is. It's so cool. So simplifying that sounds scary.
I agree. I think the badass thing is they're gonna have an extended beta process, and we'll be able to like give feedback, and it'll either be complete dog shit, and everyone will be like they'll play it for a few weeks, and then you'll be like this is trash, or you play it and you're like actually I like this, right? and that'll be the deciding thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's even better for us as content creators, like, because if you don't love the variety month and like the lull in viewership, this is going to be insane for us. So at least that's a positive no matter what. Like, they didn't feel like they had enough competition, so they created some extra.
You know what, the PoE1 split, dude? PoE1's dead, bro. PoE1's
Oh,
dead.
I doubt it.
It's
We've
dead.
been
bro.
over this,
It's
man.
dead. Dude,
We've been over this.
I know. I didn't get to talk about that. I don't know when we bring that up. The split, dude. I talked to So I talked to like 3 separate moderators. Okay, and all saying the same shit. Like, bro, they're like, oh yeah, I'm not even playing this league. I'm just gonna wait till PoE2. And they're like, oh, I'm not even playing this league. I'm gonna wait till PoE2. Like back to back, and they're separate, not even in the same call, completely separately, or and they're all having the same thing. Like they're just waiting until PoE2. And I feel like that's a lot of people. Have just kind of written off PoE1, which is kind of interesting to me.
I don't know about that, because it's so far away, and I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying this will happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have a RuneScape 3 situation where PoE2 comes out and people are like, yeah, that's nice. I'm gonna like play it for leagues. I'll play like 1 month of PoE2 and 2 months of PoE1. Like that absolutely could happen.
I don't know, man. I think he's got a point. The Diablo streamers 3 moderators aren't going to play it, so I guess that means that everyone thinks PoE1's dead and shit.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think
you spaced out while I was trying to destroy you two? Come on.
Oh my man, they were asking me which mods. They were trying to say I'm making it up. No, Fake John and Rob both told me just yesterday no, they're actively not playing the league. Okay, so they're real people, and you can ask them, and they both said they're not playing, and they both said they're waiting until PoE2. And they're both like hardcore. Yeah, the third one, well, I don't even really count, so because he didn't actually play PoE in general, so then I didn't bring him up. So this way, okay, we're going back to 2. Okay, but my bad. Okay, destroy me, Methel. Destroy me.
No, it already happened.
You missed it.
Already happened.
Okay.
But the point is, it's not a very large
bro.
sample size. Yeah, you got wrecked. All right, just take that at face value.
Oh my God.
It's not a very big sample size there. I'd say most people are really excited to like get back into PoE and start caring about it again. Like whether that's PoE2, PoE1, a new league, whatever it is. Especially knowing that PoE2 is like at least a year away for them to start caring about it again. They're gonna jump straight back into whatever's here and looks good.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a demographic of people who are just saying, "Oh, I went till PoE2." Like they exist.
Sure, they exist.
I don't know. I want to say it's double-digit percentage as well. It's not like it's probably low double digits.
Yeah.
From my estimations,
I had been convincing a lot of people. Like I have friends and stuff that were like in that boat. They were like, well, this was before XLCon, by the way. They were like, oh, I'm going to wait till PoE2 comes out. And then I explained, by the way, like the game, like anything you learn in PoE1 will be applicable to PoE2. Like the game isn't splitting or anything. It's just getting a big update. And they were like, oh, okay, cool. I'll start learning the game then. And now at XLCon, they're like, ... like you fucking liar. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't see that coming either. So I think now maybe there will be more people who are like, well, I don't want to bother learning PoE1 when PoE2 might be more approachable.
Anyone else feel like they're just a bit of a moron for the past like few years? People coming into your chat going, "Oh, PoE2, different game or something." You can be like, "Calm down. It's not a different game. It's just fucking a campaign thing." Just constantly having to elaborate on what PoE2 actually is, and then it's like
then they fuck it all. I've even had people in my chat myself just saying like, no, it's so easy to understand. It's just an expression. It's not a new game. And now it is a new game. So annoying. I even shot on one guy because he was being really obtuse about it. Now, yeah, yep. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much all we can say about PoE2. It's kind of like a wait and see situation, right?
Yep.
But as a final thing, I don't know. Obviously, like there's been a lot of numbers going around on like how many devs have been working on PoE1, and I don't think there was like an accurate number, right? I think it like varies a little bit, but it was like a low amount. I don't know whether it was like 5 or 10 people. One?
It's not one.
One guy.
Wait, dude, I had an
We've heard
in-depth
lots
conversation.
of different things.
I had an in-depth conversation. Okay, Instability 01 can vouch, and Dr. Frog can also vouch because they were there. And we were talking to the developers, and they specifically said, well, okay, obviously they used art assets and stuff from PoE 2, and some backup stuff they had, right? All the art assets and shit. But it was the guy who made Crucible League was literally a guy, just a guy. It was the one guy, like no cap.
We heard that as well. I think it was around the same spot. But yeah, like from various sources I've heard 1, 8, and up to 20.
Yeah, I heard 8.
So
I won many times, multiple times.
Either way, I don't think the specific number is super important, but that made me really happy about the split personally, because if I hate PoE 2, and they've said PoE 1 will, after the split, get more developers on it, right? Because right now there's such a heavy focus on making everything. Yeah. And the reason that makes me happy is because 2 of my 3 favorite leagues were like in the last year and a half. It was Sentinel and Sanctum League, right? I thought those were so amazing. I think the game itself is in a pretty good state right now, and I think Diablo 4 has made me appreciate PoE a little bit more. It's kind of like make me mellow out a little bit extra on criticism, because Season 1, holy fuck, I'm like, like literally D4 bad, and I really want to like D4, and I hope Season 2 is a banger, but it's just made me appreciate PoE more.
Yeah, for sure.
You're upsetting you gotta
Go on.
I'm gonna say there's a D4 player, bro. My bad. There's a D4 player down there, bro, who literally went to XLCon and played more Diablo 4 than he did Path of XL 2.
True.
Okay, by a
that's a
factor
good
of,
statistic. Yeah.
That's true.
So you're upsetting him, it says.
That's true. He genuinely loves it too. Yeah. I don't think he loved Season 1.
I loved it for what it was as well, but then it just ran out.
Yeah.
Delivered to it.
Yeah.
And it was always going to by design.
Yeah, exactly. It just needs more stuff. Stuff. It's very fun. Like, I had a great, I've played it like 200 hours already, so it was not bad. But we are getting a new season as well, and I keep forgetting the name of it. That's why, like, every intro between 322 League. Is it Trial of the Ancestors? Is that it?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay, I actually remembered it. Yeah, I can't see that. But yeah, Toda. Auto Battler in PoE, yeah, TFT League. Very interesting. Steel, any takes on Auto Battler? Do you play TFT or anything like that?
I think am I the only one in this podcast that hasn't played an Auto Battler?
I have.
I don't think I have. I don't know.
Okay.
I play things that are reminiscent of it, but no, I've not played it.
Yeah, I'm the only one that plays Auto Battlers.
Oh, cool. All right.
I play mods, Warcraft 3 mods.
All right. Well, my hope, I mean, to be fair, I don't know if this is a hope, but I'm hoping I can, because I don't know how to play Auto Battlers, I can just be OP and kill everything, and the minions can just do like whatever they do, but I can just play it like Blight. That's what I'm expecting. So, but the fact that we can die means there's a chance they decide to make it mega hard, and you're basically useless, and you basically have to use your minions. So I don't know. I don't know which way they're gonna swing.
I think that's the only reason.
I want it to be like, you actually have to play it like an Auto Battler. Because you think you want to just trivialize it, right? You think you want to trivialize it, but you don't. You actually want to have something that's different from PoE, that breaks up the end game, gives you some new, because it's supposed to be a TFT flavor, right? There's supposed to be flavor from that genre coming into the game. They have failed as game designers if you can completely ignore the TFT mechanics, right? The auto battling mechanics. So you want it to be, you have to think about the strategy at least a little bit, right?
Yeah, at least a little bit, but like similar to pretty much every other way they've tried to bring in a different style of game or genre into PoE, it's going to be a mix. Like ideally, it's where you're still capable of, adding a whole bunch of extra power of your own to whatever the mechanic is, and then the mechanic can do its own thing as well. Like I said, similar to a Blight, which realistically in the end just kind of became about player power, if you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And I'd say that's going to be kind of what this looks like at the surface. Maybe you're going to use some of that stuff and it'll help to rely on all that, but then I'd say it seems like you're going to be able to blast through, and maybe there'll be some specific like gatekeep mechanics where you have to do a certain thing with the thing before you can do all of your own stuff.
Yeah. I think it'll be a really good league because I'm always wrong on my predictions, and to me this looks like a bad league mechanic. I have pretty much always been wrong. Like I thought Blight was going to be amazing, and I ended up hating Blight.
Did you like Crucible? Do you remember?
Crucible itself as a league mechanic was pretty mid, but I really like the trees. I thought that was like pretty cool.
But you were right about that.
Yeah.
The trees
okay,
were good.
I'm not always wrong. I'm not always wrong. But I love that they experiment with weird shit like this. Like that's what really makes PoE stand out so much. They like no matter if it's good or shit, at least they're trying and seeing what sticks. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, especially since the base game has already at this point accumulated so many good leagues and so much base game that it doesn't matter if like an additional league doesn't mesh with you. There's just so much that you can still do.
Yeah.
Which was the problem with, if we can take it back to D4 Bad, problem with D4 Bad, like
There's
they
nothing
might
else.
add something and it needed to be a banger because the rest of it just isn't enough. So
Yeah.
What's kind of sad though, like when they make a badass mechanic and it's like sick, and you kind of like want them to double down. Like for example, I feel like Sanctum was a way better concept and idea, and it fit far better into AIPG gameplay than say something like Heist. But you look at all the shit that went into Heist, all that voice acting, all that polish, all this content, all this, and it's like, man, imagine if they gave Sanctum like an actual banger league. They came back and gave it like a second pass. That was big deal.
That's what I was saying.
Give me the Heist experience.
That's what I was saying halfway through
You know?
Sanctum. I was like, I hope next league it's just like, hey, we saw everyone like Sanctum so much that we're just making more Sanctum. I was like, oh, that'd be fucking sick. I love that league so much, dude.
But on top of that, like for Heist being such a different thing outside of a PoE scope, it needed all of that to be able to like have any sort of weight, any legs. Whereas Sanctum, the concept is much more, like you said, more going to flow into PoE, so it didn't need as much. So that's probably why that ended up being that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Imagine the multiplier of just putting more content into it.
Right. I'm saying it'd be amazing, but if they're going to like bare minimum.
Do you think they're holding it? Do you think they're like, okay, fuck yeah, like roguelike stuff and in PoE works really good, and they're like, all right, we're gonna just like whatever, chuck it back into PoE 1, but actually they're making like one of the very first PoE 2 leagues. Fucking whatever they call, maybe not Sanctum, but like, you know, the roguelike 2.0 where they go full, they have a whole team, all the shit, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be. Maybe that's even how you ascend in the game. Instead of lab, you're doing these little Sanctum, like roguelike things.
I mean, that what you just said is a really fucking cool idea. If like the first, like, I don't know, like first 5, first 10, whatever, PoE 2 leagues is just the PoE 1 leagues, but on like crack. Like 8x the thought and like stuff like that. That is a really, really cool idea, right? Because so many of the bosses and stuff we've seen is PoE 1 bosses. Like, I don't know if you got to fight Super Merveil on the Warrior, but it's like Merveil on crack, right? So yeah, I think that'd be a really cool thing.
So the video, she got exposed nipples.
Oh.
It's something. It's quite something.
That's all we need to bring up, is it? Like, there's a lot of that in PoE 1 already, so it's not like it's a new thing. But everyone's just like, oh shit, titties, are they allowed to do this? Oh man, fuck. You guys see that there's fucking tits on screen? And it's like, guys, if you played PoE 1, there's fucking tits everywhere if you're looking.
It was HD, humanoid, and she was like fit. Okay, dude, so... Yeah. I'm just saying, it wasn't like demonic.
I mean,
there's no blood.
I almost saw Quinn's ball sack this Hexagon, so I got to see a lot of skin. So it was
almost. I thought you did.
No, thankfully not. I got spared. It just his pants ripped. It's the incident.
Sag.
Sag.
He wanted to show the goods.
My pants ripped, Sag, dude. What the hell?
And your underwear. I don't know how both rip. That's impressive.
Just well endowed.
We have tattoos coming as well. They're going to be very interesting. That could be very build enabling. And speaking of build enabling, Mathil, what are you the most excited for about tattoos? You're like probably the one who plays the most builds.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of like build. Oh no, shit! I haven't seen too much. haven't looked at all of them and stuff. Like, I think there's someone compiled a list or something. I figured I'd just find them as I find them. So I don't really know what's available except for like some stuff that's just enhances here or there. Like, not necessarily build enabling, but you could say they're build enabling if you stack enough of any of them in a certain direction, right? But otherwise, they just kind of seem like nice small enhancements to builds that could help. I mean, ultimately, it just depends on how accessible they are. Like, people are thinking, oh, I'm going to get 100% flash duration or some shit. Like, can you? Will you? Is that possible? So if that's, a question that's answered and that's stuff that we can do, then yeah, it can be pretty damn spicy. It's going to be a league of, holy shit, I don't have enough stats to wear my stuff. But,
And I'm guessing this is your League Star cosplay, right? You're going to be like completely shirtless and just covered in temporary tattoos.
Listen, I currently have fucking nothing.
Oh, wow.
I was leaving it all down to today. Maybe some tattoo shit. I've got some other small idea. Basically, I'm just going to go out and see what I can make of some stuff. And, I don't usually like to spoil anything, but I mean, it's pretty obvious. Tattoos and stuff. Maybe if I can find some stuff that
tattoos are Navali.
Worth it. That's probably too hard. I wanted to, I can spoil the original sort of, snap thought where you see, I think it's Hinakora, which is like a green and purple lady, the one that you guys took a photo.
Yeah, and I think I maybe didn't send you the photo of that.
No, I think you may have. Anyway, that thing that ends up being part of the big thing of the league mechanic. I'm like, yeah, that one would be cool. And then I look at it and I just went, there's no fucking way. It's so much work. That's so much to just have to buy and do. So then I went, okay, I don't know now. That's so fair. I just left it up to today and hopefully something happens.
That's crazy. That stressed me out so much. I can't believe you're doing it the day before.
I am very stressed out. That's all there is to it. I hate this.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm stressed. It's bro, just take your shirt off, get some oil out. Okay, get the permanent marker. Maybe do a little moku in your face.
Just doesn't pass these days. I mean, yeah, look, that'll be good enough, but it's pressure. You don't have every second person at ExileCon coming up to you going, oh man, I love your cosplays. I wait for it every league. And it's like the highlight of my league. I'm just like... And then the devs are just like, oh yeah, we watched the cosplay. We love that cosplay. Yeah, I can't wait to see the next one. I'm just like,
there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure.
They're saying that because it's something to talk about, bro. It's not like that. Their day's gonna be ruined. Like Mathos cosplay's not up to standard. My entire league is.
They would. As soon as Mathos goes live, my chat just goes like Mathos live, and everyone's like, open his stream. And then if I close it a little bit early, like just a 5-minute wait, people would be like, have you seen Mathos cosplay yet? Have you seen it? Chat, has he seen it yet? So like, yeah, people love it.
Did you know I was going to cosplay this? Did you know? Did you check? Because, it never happens.
I know.
Yeah, even like 4 or 5 hours into the stream, I'll sometimes change out or have a shower or something. And then the next 5 hours of stream, people come in and be like, no cosplay? What? And I'm just like, fuck you. It was already there. You didn't even care enough to be there on time.
Yeah, you inspired me to cosplay one league, and I had my wife do really intricate zombie makeup on me. And that was fine for the first 11 hours, but this is back when I think I did a 31-hour stream that day. And it started melting because it was silicone. It was just drooping down my face. And I'm like, I am so fucking uncomfortable. This is not thought through for an extended stream. So
well, nah, you should have just got rid of that after a little while. You don't have to commit to
seeing
this 24 hours.
I was racing with it drooping off my face. And I was like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah. Well, it's a lesson learned. So, if you're going to do it in the future, not quite that intricate or extensive.
Yeah. I'll think about something else. I did think about temporary tattoos, but I'm too fucking lazy. I don't care enough.
Fair.
Steele, when are we going to see some League Star cosplays from you?
When I look like Mathel. How about that?
That's fair.
So soon? Soon?
True. Yeah.
Steel Mage, Giga Chat arc.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nothing's stopping you, man.
The omens are very interesting. We're also getting I can't remember. Is the crafting currency predicting an omen, or is that just its own thing? The Hinakora's lock.
That's not an omen. I'm
Right.
pretty sure. No, maybe it is.
I think that was the predicting currency. I think that was like one of the end game things for that.
It is,
Yeah.
but
I just don't know if it's
is
actually
it
an
specifically
omen.
an omen. Yeah.
I don't know, but we are getting what do you call it as well? The trash to treasure bag. That's an omen.
Mm.
Very, very interesting. I guess I feel like that's a very fun SSF thing, but kind of boring for Trade League because surely there'll just be one thing on Trade League where it'll be always used on one thing, whether that's like Aegis or whatever.
I kind of have a take on this. So
Uh-huh.
I think this is PUE, like GGG's version of consumable currency, consumable buffs, kind of like flasks, or not flasks from PUE, but flasks from default, you know, like cheat death elixir, scroll of escape, things of that nature. Because there's the one that procs on low life that refills your flasks. There's the one where you die, you get the cure well back, so you instantly go back into the fight. You get the TP or whatever. So I think they're trying to do that a little bit.
Yeah.
We need a DC one, GG. We need a DC one.
Yeah, I mean, that is a really cool thing. There's no logout macro in PoE too, which I surprisingly really like. So that's right. People are like,
we'll see how that ages.
Well,
yeah, I love that.
I don't know. I think it does make sense in PoE 1 because then I hate the idea that you lose your character when you DC. But this is going to pause the game, which is the absolute best solution. And that
we don't know if, did they confirm how that works when you come back in? Because will you be in like
pauses.
a load screen and then...
It's paused until you move. Everything is frozen.
Oh, wow. That's so good. Because wait, who told you that?
Neon.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Until you move,
crazy.
everything's completely frozen. I don't know how the fuck they're going to have that work in a group. Maybe you just like die. But I love that because I was just like, that's why I like logout macro in PoE 1, because right now, if the alternative is like D4, you just fucking lose your character every time you crash. Like, that fucking sucks, right? But this is going to make it so much more interesting. Like, you go into a boss fight, you're committed. That's going to...
You're in.
Yeah, and that
the
makes
intensity is going to be so much higher.
Yeah,
bro.
and things are going to be so valuable. That's my favorite thing. Is like farming bosses that other people can't do and selling the shit. That's going to be so valuable. It makes me like want to play trade a lot more.
Yo, think about the viewing experience actually as well.
Mhm.
I thought about that now. Like, it's going to be way better to watch a boss fight because you know once they're in, they're fucking in.
Yeah.
Right? There's no getting out. That's it. Like,
I mean, you
and
can use the portal
you-
scroll, but it's a 3-second timer.
But it's super cringe though, right? Like watching someone like log out repeatedly when they're fighting a boss to like avoid a particular mechanic to cheese a boss. It's fucking, I don't know. It's so jarring and cringe. You see like all the the people are doing it with really low gear and stuff, but then they do, they're abusing log out because they have to, because it exists. Right, and it's like it's just shit to watch.
Oh
Like
I like the
Awakening,
PoE2 solution a lot
the
more.
first Awakening kills and stuff like that, and it was all like spam log out every 2 seconds, and it's just.
Are we really gonna get into the logout discussion? Are we really going there?
Well, he finished it. I was
bad
going to say something, but then he said, because you have to, so it's already over. That's the point of view.
Wait, what I'm saying is it's bad content, right? And this is going to be way better content, is what I'm saying. It's like when I watched the first fucking boss kill on PoE2, like, whatever, watching Ben like kill some fucking boss. He's not going to be like spam logging out the fucking boss, which he'll either kill it or die, which would be, I don't know, pretty pogies.
I feel like he's going to go in and kill it because there's no risk of him dying, because if it's actually difficult, he'll just go get more gear. The whole point is with a logout macro is he can actually try it, and if something goes wrong, he can back out.
No, well, there'll be opportunity costs, because what if fucking old mate down the road just goes in and risks it and he kills it?
Well,
right?
Ben
I'm assuming
Ben is tactical enough to know that the other guy's gonna die. Obviously, you don't get there first and beat Ben. It doesn't work like that. You're gonna die.
What if there's like a 30? What if it's like a 50% chance you rip? It's like one of those things where the real. Let's be honest. The real strategy will be log into like standard and then practice on standard.
Yeah.
And then when you do it in standard without dying with the same gear, then you just kill it.
Strat right now.
Yeah. True.
I don't know. I think it's a good solution at least. I love it because as long as you don't die to like crashes, that's the worst thing about hardcore.
Very true.
Sure.
I've been begging for a system exactly like this. Like, well, not exactly where it pauses the game literally. And I was not under the impression that it paused. So I was kind of like, oh, the system's like almost good. But the fact you're saying it pauses and Neon said that, it sounds amazing. Because I've literally been begging for this exact thing for the longest time because I mean it's the best way. It's the most elegant way of solving the problem, right?
Yeah,
And it means they
absolutely.
can balance the game differently. They can. It means you can do because they're going to slow down recovery as well. They can kill you not with one shots, but they can now kill you with attrition damage in a boss fight, for example. They can slowly drain your life away, and you just watch your guy die, and there's nothing you can do to stop it, right? Which is fucking cool.
They just announced a new item. See, I can bring it up on the podcast here. Oh, that's very large. Oh. On their Twitter. Bring it up on my screen. I can also post it in the group combo. I don't know if you guys have it popped out so you can see.
I'm just looking at it now, yeah.
Yeah, what do we got here?
Every fifth time you pay it.
Spells cause you to gain energy shield equal to their upfront cost every fifth time you pay it. That's weird.
Is it some like Archmage thing then?
Hey. Yeah, bro.
Interesting. Is that really?
I don't see it as being that great, but I'm not heavy into mana usage and stuff. Maybe real big mana boys are looking at that and thinking. Yep,
I'm with the 1C voice on this one.
What does gain energy shield mean? It doesn't like increase over your max, right?
No. No.
What does that mean? Like
there's a new.
You think you can stack infinite buffer or something over your back?
This is for one day and then you're immortal.
Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's the item. That's how it's interpreted. That's exactly how it's going to work.
Okay, Steel's been playing too much D4.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can do all kinds of broken shit in that game. It'd be badass.
Yeah, all kinds of broken shit.
Yeah, like hit for trillions of damage. You can literally stack damage infinitely in that game. It's badass.
Still? Or like
nah, but
yeah, I'm
maybe,
pretty sure like got
I mean, they patched it, but then they add some new shit. It's a mess.
We got Mana Cucks talking about how they have builds that spend 20k mana a second with 21k ES. I mean, so maybe there's trade league interaction there. But then again, I don't know why would you even need that recovery if you had that much shit. It's like, do you really need to waste a ring slot that's not even got damage just to get like a bit more? I mean, I don't know. To be honest, it feels like not the play still.
Like every fifth means you have to spend mana often enough, fast enough to recover it well enough. So it can't just be heavy mana stacking stuff, unless you're like recovering a lot fast and then attacking fast. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see someone do something crazy with it.
Oh, we will for sure.
Be interesting to see how many new uniques there'll be. Is there any other like crazy new items they've talked about so far? I can't remember.
So there's the minion weapon. There's I'm calling it Legacy 6-link comms because that's pretty much what they're. I think that's literally what it is, right? That's the whole meme.
The minion one looked interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
Yeah, the
Sanctum's back too with its items. Which has big stuff.
And they haven't been nerfed from what we've heard. They were like saying in the interview with Subtractum, they were like they were like dev check. I don't think it's been nerfed. So that means we get Eternal Damnation. I would guess at a 2% drop rate. But
yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Oh yeah. No, it's not going to be the most common. It's not going to be the most common fucking thing, but it's the most broken item we've ever had.
Sanctum and log in and get an Eternal Damnation, bro. That's what I want to. I put it on my POB already, dude.
Let's all make a pact across the entire game to not use that item because it's boring how fucking tanky you can get with it.
Yeah,
Fuck
it's good.
That noise. No,
it's like the most strong.
It stacks additively.
The most strong item we've ever had.
Jug.
It's not going to be like 50% drop rate.
It actually doesn't give you any DR if you already have 90% DR. So, okay, to be clear here, you get 0% DR from it if you already have if you got enough armor to actually fully protect the hit, does nothing.
Yay!
So, but yeah, no, versus all the one shots, yeah, it works. It's completely broken.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I love it.
Question is, can you complete a Sanctum, whatever build you're going to do, Quinn?
Well, I'm thinking. Oh, actually, wait, we're not talking about that yet, right?
No.
I'm
just saying, Sanctums aren't going to be that easy. and especially with the extra rare mobs, and they've been rebalanced to some extent. I expect it won't be super easy on HCSSF
Yeah.
to complete a Sanctum.
We'll see about that. I'm gonna have like fucking 90,000 armor. Oh no, 250,000 armor. Okay. And I'm gonna have like the resolve reduction with the armor, and I'm gonna get hit by like all the balls. I'm just getting hit all the balls. 0 resolve damage. 0
Well,
with these
We'll
new
see how
items.
that goes.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, and we can start talking about the patch notes and new patch and stuff. So we can start with Sanctum. Like, I'm obviously very happy to come back, but the video we were showing, you're taking so much damage, so that's gonna be very interesting. I thought it was pretty cool that it was like a medium core mechanic where it was like focus on like dodging and playing like that, but it seems like they've kind of removed that. I definitely think we'll like die a lot more in Sanctum now.
Possibly. I mean, it's just, I think it's up to how hard the rares are going to be. Because,
Yeah.
like, rares are pretty fucking tough and randomly at the moment, based off of what pool of shitty mods they could have. And if you have Sanctums that are going to have, increased attack speed, action speed, that sort of thing, it might well just be cancer, even. Like, run into some real uncomfortable shit. Because having those just static mobs, guards or whatever, was like pretty chill for the entire of the Sanctum. You know what to expect, you know what you're going to have, you know what to play around exactly, and that's not going to be the case anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think so. I think, I mean, they designed Sanctum in a way specifically where they said, yo, we're going to make it so every single attack in the Sanctum can be avoided because it's telegraphed. So surely they're not going to break that principle of design whenever they're adding in the new rares. Or do you think they just YOLO'd random shit in there?
YOLO'd random shit in there.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I think
maybe.
that a lot of people's complaints with Sanctum were that it was too repetitive. I personally didn't have this too much because I felt like the challenge relics provided me with enough difference in gameplay that I was still having fun. But that's the main complaint, right? And I think that's why they're adding in the rares so that every room isn't like there's a mob here, here, and here. You run through or kill them, and then that's it, right? Now you have a little bit more variety. I just hope they don't mess it up, and it is like what everyone's saying, where you're gonna have some tricks to arch them that just fucks everything. So one thing I will say, this is just like a PSA for everybody watching. Relics are like they were, and I assume they still are, like insanely OP for Sanctum, and it's very hard to fail a Sanctum with relics. Everyone is going to struggle on the first few Sanctum runs because you're not going to have any relics, but it does get better because everybody hated Sanctum for that first 2 days.
I didn't.
It wasn't in most people
did.
Most
Fucking
people
bozos did. That's who.
I'm pretty sure I saw you like auto attacking a mob and failing many times. But anyway, point is,
I loved it, bro. I was like, log in. Can't wait to get my relics, boy.
Yeah, well, you understood that the relics will carry. So just get your relics. Don't freak out. It's normal. So, and I think you can trade them now, right? You can trade them too right now. So,
yeah. That'll be interesting. I love it. I love that it's coming back. I wonder how like common they're going to be because obviously it took us a long time to build the Sanctum before, right? So
yeah, I did the math on this.
You think it's going to be like 1 every 90?
Well, it's 32 maps to get a Sanctum in Sanctum League. Mm-hmm. League mechanics usually return with 10% spawn rate, roughly, give or take. Therefore, it should be 1 Sanctum tome every 320 maps. I'm hoping that's not the actual rate, but that's what it would be if it was like other League mechanics. I'm hoping that's not the rate though.
We have no nodes, right, for Sanctum?
No, we don't. So I'm hoping that number is closer to 90, like Ziz said. But that would mean it's actually quite common compared to like other integrations. No, you can't. Yeah,
you can't spec into Sanctum, bro. My plan was to spec in to get the Eternal Damnation, bro.
Yeah, I wanted Atlas. I wanted heist Atlas nodes, like X amount extra rate to get it, and they decided against it. So I'm hoping that means like what Ziz was saying. I hope it's 1 in 90 maps. which is still really rare, but it at least means you'll see it like occasionally.
And you do get a full one when you get it. Like I think that'll feel really good because that's like what felt kind of bad in Sanctum League was like, okay, now I have to wait a bit to do the full flooring.
Yeah, that is important. A lot of people have been confused about this. It's not one floor per tomb because one tomb gives you a floor and then the next floor automatically spawns. So it's actually a full thing. If you decide to run through all the floors, you do get all 32 floors, rooms. So.
I think it'll be similar drop rate to the memories.
Yeah, which would be fine. Rare, but you know.
I think that's too rare.
Why can't
I don't
they
expect it to be
bro?
that rare. Because it's just not been added to the Atlas yet. Because it's, I don't know, new. It's not balanced in
They
yet.
probably want to see how it is and affects the game this league, right? I think they're going to be like very, very careful with everything they put core now after harvest.
I know why. I just realized why. You know why, right?
All I was going to say was, long story short, we'll get to play plenty of Sanctum if we want to, because if it's a shit drop rate, everyone's going to complain, and then they're going to buff it within like a week or two, and we'll eventually get to a point where we're doing a desirable amount of Sanctum, I think.
True.
I realize what's going to happen though. It's the reason why they just going to be fuck putting the nose in is because they don't give a shit about SF gamers, and they just like fuck it. If people want to do a bunch of Sanctums, they could just buy it on trade, bro. Yeah, that's what their logic is, right? Like they can just buy it on trade. Yeah. You know, that's the reality.
I mean, I was forced to go trade this league. Steel Mage was like, "You have to play trade," and I was like, oh, "Okay, I have to."
At gunpoint, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Why?
Well,
before
I didn't really like the race rewards. Isn't like something I was super interested in, and I don't know. I'm just not feeling like racing, I guess. And I feel like if I go hardcore SSF and I'm not racing, I'll get a lot more annoying comments. Like, because then people would be like, hey, you're not in the lead. It's like, well, I'm not racing. I'm just playing for fun. Whereas I still get those on hardcore trade, but probably less of them.
That's bad logic. But then again, I guess if it really upsets you, like if one guy can upset you that much, then maybe it is worth it.
It's not one guy. It's like 600.
Okay, if there's 600 guys, I mean, yeah, I don't know. You just tell them to shut the fuck up.
It's also... It's another thing. I've never gotten to use Forbidden Flesh Jewels, right? Because they don't fucking exist on SSF. Like, I'm literally never going to drop 2 of those. And I really want to like try that, and now I'll actually get to. And there's so many people going hardcore trade now because there's so many streamers doing it. So hopefully it'll be like some semblance of economy.
Yeah, some people in chat are asking why don't we do a private league? We are. It's called Hardcore Trade.
Yeah,
it's a big private league. Come join.
It's Dan's league, bro. It's log into Dan's league.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Well, what I've been thinking about like later in the league would be maybe like trying Ruthless with people that want to try like do like streamer group found Ruthless kind of thing. I think that would be quite fun.
Something you said though is just I never really thought about it. You as SSF you never got to play with the forbidden jewels and stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's that you guys have just locked that away from yourself. That is such a big fun addition to the fucking game.
Yeah.
And
fun.
Yeah, look. All I was going to say before that was, man, yeah, if you want to go have some fun, join the fun portion of the game where you're supposed to have fun. If you don't want to have the fun, stay in your SSF, Quinn, and, keep...
It's just different fun, though, right?
I mean,
like, it's just different.
I'm not logging a Ruthless, bro.
Like you wanted to, and don't complain that Sanctum ain't coming your way.
Okay. I'll be honest, I fucking hate that they balance the game around fucking the trade dogs. Okay, the subhuman fucking
the
trade.
Where we log in to have fun, not to punish ourselves.
Do you know why we don't have recombinators? Okay, it's because fucking trade league Andes. That's why we don't have recombinators in the goddamn game. Okay, it's some bullshit, bro. I fucking love recombinators. Like they should just make SSF void to trade, right? And then just have all the fun shit in SSF that actually works in SSF, but gets broken and abused by the trade league Andes. You know?
See, I mean, okay. I mean, there's no wrong way to have fun, right? As long as you're having fun, that's the important part.
Yeah, but the problem is if you're not having fun doing it, but you're doing it because that's what you think you should do.
Okay, can we just say real quick that Quinn is right about the drop rate of Forbidden Flame being fucked, because even in my 6,000 chatter private league, we weren't getting combinations. It is absolutely. It's not just balanced around trade. It's specifically a balanced around softcore trade. So it's like one mechanic for one league that is basically locked. And keeping in mind though, it wasn't always this bad. The drop rate was significantly better before they nerfed it. After they did I can't remember. The drop rate was gutted in like half or something, right? Something like that. So it was a lot better before. So if they could just like undo that, Forbidden Jewels would be a little bit more accessible. Just a little bit.
I was on HG Trade, man, for like I don't know, for 3 weeks, and I was looking. I had all the searches going, all the meta, like it was scanning the auction house the entire time for like the shittiest Forbidden Jewels that was still massively upgrades for me, right? And it could not complete a single one.
I've actually thought about. I have one more divination card creation, and I've thought about making Forbidden Jewel as like just like I don't know if I should do Forbidden, like see if somebody else has one, and we do like one each, so like one red, one blue.
Yeah, I got one.
You have one? Oh, Are we teaming up?
Pact.
A red and a blue.
Catch the game.
We're making like a joint div card.
Emoji. You do like 2 broken parts of a heart, bro. Think about it.
That sounds sick. Yo, let's do it.
Bro.
No, we'll do the handshake Ujimo, but somehow. But I don't know.
I don't know if they'd let you do it.
No.
That's just my concern. Like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying putting Forbidden Jewels into a div card.
Well, I think they would.
I don't know. That seems like maybe it's a bit of a separate item. Like, it's possible they want to just keep that as a random boss drop thing.
I mean, it's either in the drop down or it's not. I don't know if they do
No,
special
you
requests.
can DM them, yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm a very important streamer.
No, anyone can do a computer as a request.
Zizaran here for the 1 millionth time in your DMs, asking for more.
All of mine have been the drop down, by the way.
I'm a famous streamer, Dad.
All of them have been the drop down. I've done the normal shit for everything. That was a good boy.
Yeah. I'm down though. I'm down.
That'd be fun. I'd like that. But you don't get to customize that much, so you don't get to customize how many cards and stuff it is. Like, I hate my undisputed card so much. Like, it's so fucking rare. You literally need, I think it's like 1,300 Chayulas on average to complete a set or something stupid. It's I think it's like 25 weight from stack deck. It's like ridiculously rare.
Yeah, it was near Mage Blood rarity.
Yeah, the Mage Blood is 13
was...
weight and Undisputed is 25, and mine gives a Elder Merciless Wallax. Like, thanks.
Yeah, that makes it Pog, dude. Chase item.
I mean, it is actually quite good if it was farmable and more common. Like, it's a neat thing if melee's good.
You can take a bathroom break.
Yeah, go for it. Quinn, do you have
in max. I was gonna say, should we sync up pissing and then have like an intermission and you just cut it out of the video, or?
I mean,
these two.
You guys can go to the bathroom. It's fine. Me and Still will chat.
Yeah. All right.
We'll talk about our div card.
All right, be right. Badass dudes. Put it back.
Okay, I would want blue, obviously.
Yeah. Obviously, goes without saying. It'll be really cool if it can drop the Uber version too. I will say though, this kind of is hypocritical. Well, I don't know if hypocritical is the right word, but I don't like boss loot div cards. So
yeah, same.
But
it's different. It's different.
Good idea. No, it's not different. It's just
it's
just a good enough idea.
It's not. It's like yeah. I don't know. I usually don't either. But let's see. Available divination cards. Purchased 4. Available 1. Let me see if it's in the drop down. Wait, there's no drop down anymore. Yeah. Oh, they've removed the drop down.
Oh, okay. Well, that changes things, I guess. Game is dead.
I've asked.
Your Twitch chat.
I've asked.
TV
I mean, who fucking cares about some random? In fact,
I was gonna say on the podcast before, but I'll just say with you. Are you banned? Where is it? Oh my god.
I'm just like, I've taken so much advice from Rice QT. He was like, just ban people, sis. And I was like, you know what? I will.
Oh shit. I was gonna say earlier, do you think that do you think it's bad that they announced? Okay, two-parter. Do you think it's one, that they meant to announce the beta earlier, and then it's bad that it's announced really late. Like Quinn and Math was, like Quinn was saying, people are gonna wait till the beta now, and they're just gonna ditch PoE until the
Yeah,
beta.
so I thought that the beta would start no later than Christmas, right? I thought maybe like the game would somehow launch at Christmas, but I was like beta for sure by December.
What about you, what about chat? Do you think were you guys expecting this year for the beta? Oh, this is
And
getting cut out
Chris-
anyway, so I can talk to chat, right?
No, we're not editing this out.
Oh,
But and Chris even said this is like this league that we're playing now was supposed to be the last PoE league. So I'm wondering how late this shit was decided, or maybe that's
maybe
something
this
you
is
just
the
said.
last PoE league, dude. We're just
Yeah,
gonna
he
play
said
this
that during
league for-
the talk with Ziggy.
Okay.
So that
we're
was
gonna play
like
this league
Well,
for
there
a
it
year,
is, dude.
dude.
Fucking
Holy.
1 year trial of ancestors.
no. I mean, it was clearly not going to be the last league. But
Clearly.
I
Says
think,
you. Yeah. Still
Clearly.
could be.
No, I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess that means that maybe there'll be a huge league for holiday season. Hopefully, which is how we had it for like a few years, and it worked really well. But then it got out of sync.
Yeah, because the next league
and
should
maybe
start in
this
November.
can resync us.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be November, it could be December league, and it could be just fucking huge league.
Well,
But yeah, I was
Yeah.
for sure thinking either the beta or some shit by the end of the year. I was like, they've got to like strike while the iron's hot, and
Yeah. I mean, if it's not ready, if it's not ready, and they want to get it right, so it makes sense. But I will be very interesting to see like what kind of numbers we're getting this league, right? Because like Chris said, a rising tide sinks all ships. No, there's it's the opposite of that.
is that good in your world, Ziz?
No, a rising tide floats all boats. I don't know what he said. He probably didn't say that. But
Wait, what?
I was saying like the fact that like so many people are playing D4, there's probably going to be quite a lot of people checking out this league, right? Like that's why there's a huge like last league was a peak, right? In concurrent numbers for PoE. So
Believe that.
yeah. So I mean,
People were fiending. I feel like people were fiending for ARPG in the downtime leading up to D4. Whereas now, D4, I feel like it's just killed everyone's erection. So now they don't want to have anything to do with ARPGs.
That's not it. That's not it at all. A lot of people have been given a taste, and they are now like looking to the next ARPG. Like a lot of people, first of all, have never tried PoE, but they've heard of it, and then they've had Diablo 4 on the horizon, and now they've played Diablo 4, and then they went, okay, everyone says this is the better one, or this is the real big thing. Maybe it's time to finally try it. A lot of people tried their first ARPG, and then they're like, okay, I did as much as I could in this. What's next? What's the next big one? Path of Exile's doing its thing. For sure, we are getting an influx from D4 players.
Yeah, D4 refugee, right?
yeah.
I think people are like, I don't know, like they busted. They thought they were getting like some high quality shit, but actually, they got a fucking STD, and they're like, oh shit, I need to stay away from things like this. Like I don't know. But we'll have to see though. We'll have to see how it goes, how it plays out, how the cookie crumbles, so to speak.
I can see the Dexerto headline: Quinn69, D4 is a bad STD. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting one. I wouldn't be surprised if there'll be an even bigger record number now.
Yeah, I'd expect that.
And I feel a little bit bad for all the new players whenever, like especially during Kalundra, but like every league, right? There's some people that are unhappy, and I think that puts off a lot of new players. But I saw a really nice post that someone made. And it was basically saying ignore all the like negative stuff because it's always only like us bitter vets, right? Like as a new player, it's pretty much always exciting. Like even though I personally hated Kalandra, I would still recommend people to start playing PoE during that because whenever there's a little stuff added, that's completely irrelevant for new players. There's just so much stuff in the game. You have so much stuff to explore anyway. It doesn't matter if there's little stuff added one league.
Ignore the negativities. Like, it's easier said than done. Like
Yeah.
especially if you're someone that frequents the game forums or the Reddit, and someone that engages in that sort of thing whenever you're playing a game, because like you can go, oh yeah, someone said to ignore all that shit, but then you check it every now and again, and it's just always a shit smearing, and it brings you down. So it's hard to do.
Yeah, I'm easily influenced. Sag.
Yeah, it's a vibe thing, bro. If everyone's vibing out and like, holy shit, let's go, boys! What are you rolling? Oh, you're so excited! It's like you kind of feed off their energy, their hype. Whereas everyone's like, this is fucking trash. Pee-wee's dead. Boo-hoo. It's like, okay, yeah, the vibe is off, and then that can preload your experience. I feel like it can put a sour taste in your mouth, so to speak.
Yeah. Although I've noticed as a streamer, the worse the league is, the bigger the like view count will be. So it's kind of like a bit of a like twisted blade, because like Kalandra was one of my biggest spikes for view count, because so many people were like probably going to streams like, is everyone hating this as much as I am? Whereas like
I think that actually coincided with Twitch drops.
Maybe, but that was just day one.
It lasted for like 2 weeks or some shit.
No,
It had like a thing. It had like something for like a week and something for resurgence. Because I remember going over with my partner manager, and I was just like, yeah, Calandra felt like it was kind of small, for the most part. And then he's like, he goes, if we look at the figures, and then he's like, and because we had the drops for this thing, he's like, that's the biggest shit you've ever had. And I don't know why they didn't do more of it. He's been trying to work drops in a lot more, but they just don't take to it for some reason. Like if we had a month
cannibalizing sales, bro, cannibalizing sales
like that, it'd just be pure profit for everyone watching and all that sort of shit. But they don't.
Yeah, I'm surprised
they don't believe in it.
I think there's going to be change. I think with this new people coming into doing the marketing and stuff. So I think we're going to see changes. I think we're going to see more shit like that.
Oh,
it's low IQ to not do drops every league.
Oh yeah,
at least even just a day. Like it's literally brain dead. The value you get out of that promotional, bro, it's so stupid.
Even in a literal dog shit old MTX, like they could do the drops for like Golden Seraph, and people would be like, "Fuck yeah, free shit! I don't have any MTX." Like from like 7 years ago, probably like one person buys it. Everything. You're absolutely right. And Calendar had 3 days of drops.
Or a fucking weta pet. Just a literal weta pet, like just a cockroach pet.
No. A weta pet every 4 hours watched of a streamer or something. People will be fucking having every stream open, pushing Twitch to the top of the category.
That's such a good idea.
Everyone's hideout would just be fucking littered with wetas.
Holy.
Well, again, dude, that's a good idea.
So I'm going to play the role of your PR guy and try to make you less of brand risk 69. Instead of saying that them not doing it is brain dead, you could say that it's a missed opportunity and it's something they really should look into in the future.
That should be Quinn's manager.
It's some boomer shit,
which is
bro.
fine. That's a bit lighter
some
on the
boomer shit.
Okay, that's still fine. I think it's starting to stretch it, but
okay. All right. I was gonna double down, but actually,
I'm trying to get you more panels in ExileCon 3, dude.
True.
Yeah, I remember during like 2019 ExileCon, I kind of remember it was something you said to Chris. It was like either like you were like, oh, that's some cuck shit, or like completely cucked or something to Chris, and I was like, no way did you just say that in front of like, oh my god.
It's a real word. It derives from the cuckoo bird, okay, which basically goes into a nest and pushes the other eggs out. All right.
But it was just like
literally cucks things.
It's too funny. It's too funny.
I didn't know the origin of that. Thanks for imparting some wisdom, Quinn.
There you go, bro. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, we heard Chris talking about what is that shit? Like, the gaping thing. Like, I mean, they don't care about some little bit of on the edge verbiage.
They don't. Not something small like that. But I'm saying when you're like criticizing, I'm saying you could tone it down because might get circled around. Some people might take more offense. Some might not. Your language and stuff when in terms of what you're talking about, that's fine. They don't care. But when you're being particularly harsh. Yeah.
I say how it is, bro. You know how it is.
These never go well on YouTube anyway. I don't care. Uh, but yeah.
Are you just not doing that? It's not worth it because too many brand risks.
There's been 2 now. We couldn't upload to YouTube just because Quinn was in them. We just got like a monetization warning. There was like all swear words were edited, everything. It's just we got,
Do you
like,
have
You
to
said
monetize
COVID. You know, you said COVID like 2 seconds into the video, right? Which is like instantly red flags, can't monetize. Shit is like misinformation. You showed like the forbidden word for YouTube, like 1 second into the thing, bro.
we can censor that out. That's fine.
But straight up, do you have to monetize it? Can you just upload it non-monetized? It's still content people want to see.
Yeah, but it was the problem was on the last one that there was one. I think this is right after some drama with Quinn, but pretty much everything started getting warnings and stuff. It was like really fucking up my YouTube algorithm. So it was a bit scary.
No, man.
Okay. No shot, bro. There's no you copy,
Yeah.
man. They're copying.
Yeah.
We don't have good algorithms, so I guess we wouldn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, I love spamming YouTube. But we can talk about the most exciting thing in the patch notes: new support gems. Steel, any thoughts? Have you looked over them a lot?
I wrote down notes. You ready?
Yeah.
So, obviously, my initial take was excitement until I saw people. Well, okay. So when I was reading through the patch notes, because there's a bit of context for this conversation that we need to talk about.
Okay.
When I was reading through the patch notes, people were just spamming Pepela. They were just spamming like, oh no, oh no. And I read through the notes initially, and I was like, what was so bad? And then obviously people corrected me by saying there was not a lack of numerical changes, which I countered by saying we have the support gems though. So I do think these support gems are interesting. And I will also say, and I think you guys will agree, if they had have given us, I know why they didn't, because they just weren't, I guess, tested or whatever, or balanced yet. But if they had have given us the support gem numbers alongside the patch notes, I think people would have reacted differently, right? But anyway, with that context out of the way, we have Corrupting Fever, which my take on that is it's Corrupting Cry, which is it's basically Corrupting Fever, but it doesn't scale with gem levels, which is actually, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because it's going to be worse, right, with gear. But that makes it's also balanced around not needing those gem levels because it's like the equivalent of a 26 or something. Corrupting Fever, which makes it better early on. So I actually think, without having looked at too many POBs, I think Zai was doing a POB for this and he might league start it. Corrupting Cry actually looks like it could be very cool. I think he was getting like 1.5 mil and then he was running Reap, the traditional Corrupting Fever Reap setup, right? And then total he was getting like 4 mil single target. So that looks fun, right? I'm surprised you didn't play this, Quinn, or POB it or whatever.
I mean, it's because of the aesthetic of doing a war cry that debuffs an enemy and stuff. And then I don't like that you have to kind of hybridize the build. I mean, because I want to go bleed, right? But it doesn't, yeah, they're both physical damage at times, but there's a lot of bleed specific stuff that just doesn't scale the corrupting stuff. And it's like, I don't know. It just didn't get me going, I guess. If it was like bleeding cry, and it somehow, then I'd be like, okay, now we're cooking with gas. But it was the fact that it was corrupting blood. I tried it one time, and I just was like, okay, so this gives me like an extra 15% damage, but I have to like chunk my life away every like fucking 10 seconds or something. This is annoying. And then I just never played it again after that.
Right.
Yeah.
So a war cry that lets out a shrill New Zealand shriek that makes the ears of the enemies bleed.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, that'd be sick.
Banshee cry. Quinn 69 Banshee cry. Bleed damage.
Log in. Get
Right.
that shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, it looks really interesting with the new support gems. I haven't looked at them too much. I was looking at the burning damage one, which ended up being, what was it? Was it 70 or 90 more damage? I like
71
something. Yeah.
71 at like between the ranges of like 2.5 APS to like 3.5. It's like ideal, but then anything beyond that. Thing is, it gets completely disabled the second when you're mapping. It's completely dog shit.
Does it actually work that way?
Yeah, when you're mapping, it's not per enemy. It's because the way it reads, it would mean like it's just 0% damage the entire way you're mapping, and then when you get single target, you're good. But the second there's 2 targets, you're fucked again. Well, it depends on how you balance the attack rate of your character. But no, it reads. How does it read? Each support skill deals 40% more damage for each ignite you've inflicted with it recently. It doesn't say anything about an enemy. And then reduce less damage for each ignite you've inflicted with it recently.
If you hit a pack of mobs,
I mean,
it's 0% damage.
Yeah, basically. I mean, unless the wording is just like deceptive and actually it is per monster, but I doubt it. And then especially if you have melee splash or something anyway, it's gonna overlap regardless, and then it would still do the same bullshit, you know?
Yeah, yikes. Yeah, to me, it seems like ideal situation if you do it correctly under the right situation, and you snapshot a big ignite with Defiled, which allows you to refresh the highest ignite effectively. In that ideal situation, it's 70% damage, which is really good, but it sounds like a pain in the ass, right? So
it's not a pain, depending on how you, because the way they're trying to go with attack basic knights, it's not really a pain in the ass. It just means, you know, you just have to, you just attack, and then it'll just be you're getting multiplier. You just have to keep attacking.
Yeah, if
on a boss,
built like the right character for the right attack speeds that gets to the right point.
Well, that's the pain in the ass, right?
Well, but that's the whole point of the whole thing. It's like a controlled blaze or some shit, right? It's thematic, and I don't know. You get rewarded for doing some slightly more difficult building.
Well, that's what I like about these new gems. Control Blaze, it's not like, because they can make any gem to say, oh, this gem gives you 30% more damage, right? But it's to only fire, which is like cool, but it doesn't really change the way you build your character. Whereas this one here, like, okay, you have to build and a certain amount of attack speed. And the other one, Volatility, where it increases the max and reduces the min. Again, you can benefit from that. You can basically completely mitigate the downsides if you build correctly. If you basically fishing for a good bleed or fishing for a good ignite, and you have a higher attack rate, it's very powerful. And it's like one of these things where, again, it's another design where it does benefit massively from building a character in a different way, which is, I think, they're the most interesting gems. Just like Trauma, for example. You know, if you want to build into Trauma, guess what? You have to have a character that has good recovery and good fist mitt. Which is, I don't know, overall pretty W in terms of, I feel like the person who designed these ones, right?
Yeah, they're interesting to play around for sure. Which another one, now I'll just say the name and you guys pop off because I'm too stupid to figure out how to make this work. But Locust Spine, do you guys have any takes on that? Because I have no idea.
I mean, that's the one where it aims at you, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe the kinetic blast and like using it to run. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yep. I didn't give it much thought. Like, it's just some mind shit, and I don't really mess with that. But I mean, I don't think it's too hard to understand with it. It's just there's like more power to it for mines, but for a more precise gameplay once again.
So do you think there'll be some cool interaction that'll be like broken, like some shotgunning, overlapping,
frost wall shit?
Possibly. I think some people are definitely looking at it and keen to get into it, from what I've seen. So there must be some potential there. I've never really done attack-based mine shit. I've only just played a few like random mines and stuff, and I'm not deep into this.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously a lot of people I've seen. I haven't read that much Reddit threads, but I was linked one where people were like complaining that there's a big lack of changes. But with the combination of the league having like, obviously, how many uniques was added this time? I can't remember.
15.
15 uniques, the tattoos, the omens, plus all the support gems. Like, I think at least like the end game will be pretty different. Because I'd say the end game in nearly every league recently, even though there's been very limited balance changes for what, a year now, 9 months, something like that. It hasn't been like a crazy huge rework, right?
Want to know when, bro? When it happened? It was whenever everyone fucking praised their ass for not making balance changes. That was the league that they stopped making balance changes. Yeah, it was. Sentinel. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is so good. This is the best shit ever." Yeah, that was like basically quote from Tai Killer, for example.
That's my favorite league.
You know,
that's my favorite league
too. This is so good. I fucking love it. It's so fucking but the fact they're praising the fact that there were no changes.
Yeah, but I think that's fine. I think changes like that are only needed every 6 months, but then they should be quite radical. Right, I think it's good to give people 6 months to get used to builds and like maybe like, I mean, obviously some builds would be getting removed and stuff. So I think at least once there's no changes every 6 months, I get kind of like,
Fuck that, bro. Argon changes every league. Like, build up the behavior pattern that they're going to do that. The expectation that it's going to be, they're going to get this stuff, the massive outliers. They're going to cut them down a bit, and they're going to get some of the things that are like just clearly underperforming, no one's using, and numerically are bad. Just raise them up a bit. And it's like, no, I'm not saying like they need to do some five-head crazy reworks or anything. Just basic as numerical changes, just to shake things up a bit. And then people have the expectation that's going to happen, and they'll know it's going to happen. Now, there's nothing that's massively OP, then don't nerf anything, right? Sweet as. Just raise the things up that are shit. But now, generally speaking, there always is something.
But I mean, either way, like, sure, the league starters have been a little stale for quite some time now, but I've at least felt that every like end game has been very, very different for me. Like what I've been actually playing.
I think the league styles are only stale if you make them stale for yourself. Like, a lot of people want the best, smoothest thing, and yeah, there's like a few things that have kind of just gone more or less to the top for a while. But from everywhere I look, like in various other people's videos, my chat, for example, as well. There's so many people playing so many different things, and they're just like, oh, I'm going to start with some wacky shit. I'm going to start with some other wacky shit. I can't wait to start this wacky shit. I barely see anyone go with like, I'm just going to do the basic thing. It's just, that's still more for people that don't want to pick their own builds. They just want to be told what's good. And for those people, yeah, maybe it's a bit stale, but I mean, there's still lots of stuff that's good that you can experiment with. It doesn't have to be the best. It'll get you through that. It'll be a good starter.
It's so exciting though, Mathel. Like when you see a bunch of melee skills get buffed and you're like, oh shit, fucking
that's hype.
But I remember the league where Vengeance got buffed, dude. That was so good. No one was doing it, and I was like, dude, this got such a big damage upgrade. It's got all that flat fizz. It's so good. And then, it was like a thing. And, I feel like that hype of like seeing some fucking ability that's been like got covered in dust. No one's touched it in a million years. And it's like, dude, this is actually fucking reasonable now. Like, this is viable. That's fun. I don't know. And they can just do that every league.
Yeah.
It is not like it requires development time, and I don't think it hurts the game in any way. If anything, it's the opposite of hurts the game. It builds up, these expectations that, oh yeah, they are going to nerf some shit every league, and they are going to buff some shit every league. That's just going to happen, and then people won't get have a little hissy fit whenever they do nerf some shit, because the expectation is there.
People always hissy fit.
Yeah, no matter what.
Always.
But it will minimize it, right? It'll because it's expected.
There's just like no winning move here is the thing. Like you could either leave stuff alone, someone's going to complain that there's no new stuff. You could change some stuff, someone's going to complain that their build is no longer the same that it once was. Like the only real winning move is to just keep introducing new skills, and that's just really hard to do.
Yeah, it's really hard.
And balanced. Right, I feel like.
But the balance thing, you're saying like always bring something up. There's another no winning move there. If you bring stuff up too much, then you're just doing this circle of power creep where it becomes obviously Diablo.
Well, no. I'm not saying only bring it up.
If you don't bring it up enough, they're like, oh, this is a dog shit shape, 5% glacial hammer, nice one. Whereas all they're really doing with those is highlighting the fact that, hey, this thing has a change, this thing's slightly better, you should be able to play it. This is something that you should look at because it's been playable and all that. But they don't give a shit. They're just like, 5%. That's fucking trash.
Well, that's why I'm a big fan of the 6 month cycles, right? That's like you get people accustomed to they can have their favorite builds, try it for a little bit extended. I think that's a nice compromise.
Well, what I'm saying is I don't want them to just buff, and I don't want them to just nerf. I'm saying you're just going for alignment, right? You're just going for like.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that too. But, like cycling builds out, right?
Yeah, it's never going to be perfectly balanced because there'll be things that are just, but like whatever. They're just aiming, just literally.
They shouldn't even strive for balance.
The game.
They shouldn't even try for balance.
Yeah, well, it's just what I see it as a process of refinement and refreshing things to make it like old things new. With a very minimal. It's like, guess what? If you don't care about those changes, then good for you. That's cool. That's fine. Nobody, guess what? Your build's still going to work. They're not going to nerf something to make. The whole goal is to make more things viable, right? Yeah. Not, so they're not going to like kill builds unless they're like completely.
The only thing that feels really bad is when one build, and I mean, I don't think this feels bad to Mathel. You're pretty good at like tempering yourself just ignoring OP builds. But at least for me and a lot of us, like when something is just so much above anything else that you feel fucking stupid for not playing it. the like totem ballista for me. I was like, yeah, this is fun, but I really fucking hope this is gone and dead next league because like that's just so. Oh my god,
Well, that was an outlier.
Yeah.
Usually they don't go to that degree.
Yeah.
That was
What was the
I was
damage?
gonna say, that doesn't often happen. Like,
Yeah.
if something's so much of an outlier, but then on the opposite end of that, if it's so far of an outlier, I also have the other point of view of, oh, it's just dumb to play that. It's clearly stupid and busted. Like,
Man,
Yeah.
I watched your video. You played 4 Vengeful Cascade builds last league, okay? 4. All right.
Was it
I don't
4
know.
in the end or
You did
3?
that. 4. There was 4. There was 4. Wait. You had the one with the ethereal knives or whatever. Okay.
Mhm.
You had the Visha. Okay. And then you had
My first character,
wait,
the
the first
the
wait,
ice
the
shot.
first guy, yeah. Oh wait, the eye shot? Yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
man. What's the fourth one? I don't know.
I don't know if I had a 4th. The EK was Nimmy's anyway. It wasn't Venture Cascade.
It's Nemes is fucking gonna be 50 divines this league, right? I mean, it's gonna be.
It was
50
one divine last
Oh,
league,
there's
and
a
it's the
div
first
card
time
now.
I've used
Yeah,
it,
but
which
it's
is why
because
I
Vengeful
used it.
Cascade exists, right? It's because Vengeful Cascade existed.
I also
That's
did
why
it.
we're doing.
No, mate. Venture Cascade doesn't work with fucking Ethereal Knives. It's for attack base. So Ethereal Knives is completely out of the way for that thing to begin with. And I did it Ethereal Knives and Nimmies because I'd never used Nimmies before. It was cheap enough, and people weren't playing EK
Well,
because
it
they
makes
thought
sense.
it wasn't good at the time. So then
Bro, I
combine
seen
all that
MB
shit, so that's why I
Extreme.
did it.
I've watched MB Extreme play EK fucking 5 leagues in a row, bro. Okay, and he just presses attack. He presses EK one time, whole screen immediately dies. And he's like, man, the spell's kind of slow. And he's like, I only cleared 3 screens with it when I press that button. You know, like, it's kind of shit. You know, I don't. But yeah, no, I feel that. No, but I
Wait,
was just
those
saying,
aren't outliers.
you
Those aren't outliers, mate. Those
I play
are
Vengeful.
still
I play
within
Vengeful Cascade as
balance.
well. I play Vengeful Cascade as well, man. It's fun. It's like it's OP.
Hey,
It was
Venture,
OP.
Venture
You had to
Cascade
use
was
it for.
clearly OP, and it was
Yeah.
clearly like good for that league, but it's still not the type of outlier we're talking about. And yeah, I limited myself. Like those 3 or some shit, I was like, I'll give myself 1 more use or some shit. But like for almost every single build, I could look at it and go, okay, Venture Cascade like double my damage, or I should go for this instead of this
Yeah.
because it's going to double my damage with Venture Cascade. I still limited
Well, I
myself
had the
because
feeling-
it's just not fun being like obviously powerful.
What Ziz
For
was
me.
describing,
Not
though,
fun?
right? What Ziz was
Obviously
describing, though,
powerful, not fun for me.
the feeling of feeling stupid for not using something. Like when I was playing, because I was playing a fucking Pathfinder Viper Strike, and I'm like, dude, this is fucking sick. I'm popping off. And then one guy in chat was like, yo, why don't you go Molten Strike and then use Vengeful Cascade with the fucking pneumatic dagger? And I was like, wait a minute, that's way better than what I'm doing. It's literally what I'm doing, except just double damage because it hits twice and then the poison stack the entire thing.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's just bit. And then I was like, the whole time, ever since that one guy said that, I was like fucking plagued. Like, well, I could just make a change to my build and then I just do double damage. And I made a breakdown, and eventually I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it. And then that is that descript when something's that out of line, and when you feel shit and retarded and dumb as fuck for not doing it, that's bad.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's bad. This is bad balancing.
Yeah.
And that vibe gets you,
Yeah, I think you're a bit of an outlier there, Mathil, in being able to like
I think
ignore
so,
things
to
like
some,
that.
to some level.
Yeah. Like I
'Cause
think
I can do it with this game, and I can do it with some other stuff, but it's harder to do in some other games. Like I get where you guys are coming from, but
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why I
there's still
normally
things you
play
can do.
SSF, because then I always have like mostly always have that experience of like progression and stuff. I'm going hardcore trade this week, so it's gonna be interesting. I really want to do lab though. The thing is like people don't love watching lab that much, but I love having a lab service. I think that's so fucking fun to do. But I don't know. I don't know if I will.
I mean, you can do that off stream when you feel like playing just a bit extra, right? Like an extra hour of fucking lab. It just blasts through and gives you some extra currency and fulfills some service.
The problem with that, if I want to do a service, you kind of want to just like shit it out so that everybody starts using it and stuff. Like last time I think it was like a back order of like 60, 70 enchants. And that was super fun. I felt like a little factory. I was like, oh, I got that enchant. I got that one. Like every enchant's a hit. It was really fun.
I mean, then just face tank it, dude. Do the content you want to do. Don't
I did
just
lab.
think about.
Yeah, people like lab. If there is stakes though, it's better in SSF, because there's stakes. Like, am I gonna get the Bone Shatter enchant? Am I gonna get it? Yes or no? And then you make a prediction. and then either you get it or you don't get it. And then
I get
like,
that. I get
it's
that.
like pause champ,
thing
and
is,
then you don't get it.
Some of my favorite gaming content in the entire world, right? For like not anymore, but like Mephisto in Diablo 2 was like such a big favorite of mine. And Lab is the closest thing in PoE to Mephisto farming, right? And especially in trade, like almost every run is a dopamine hit. So it's pretty fun.
I've brought that up before, that I've seen that I watched you do Diablo 2 Mephisto runs and then quit like the next fucking day.
No, I did it for like a week or two.
No, but man, I remember watching. I tuned into your stream. It was like a week into. Yeah, it was like maybe, I don't know, maybe a week, a few days into D2, and you were running Mephisto in D2.
That's all I do.
And someone asked you something about it, and you're like, I think this is basically the funnest thing, or like the best content in the world. And then you quit the next day, and I was just like, oh. But
I do that every time I play D2. That's everything I do, though.
Like, nice one, Zeus.
But I play very limited D2 now. It is an outdated game, but it is still really, really fun. Like every time I play D2, I do the same thing. I play Sork, and then I do like 150 hours of just Mephisto farming, and then I quit. And then I come back like 3 months later, 6 months later, whatever. Like, it's still fun. Like I don't have to do it forever just because I really enjoy it.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to say it's the best content in the world if like it's just not, because it's not doing it for you anymore. Maybe saying, yeah,
for
back
time.
in the day it was.
For its time. Yeah, that's fair.
Sure.
For its time. I do want to continue talking about passionate related things. The Chieftain rework is what I figured would be a good topic.
I have a funny story about this, actually.
Yeah, go for it. Steal.
So immediately after the announcement, I head to the so this is at ExileCon after the big reveal. I head to the merch line, and it's a long ass line, so I get to talking to people in the line. And somebody brought it up that they were really excited about the Chieftain rework. They were excited, chat. They were really excited about the max res and all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't until I got back home, back to my Airbnb, I checked Reddit, and people, and I saw the Lance video as well at some point. And it was like, what, the worst ascendancy? It was worse than any ascendancy, and so hey, that's my story. Chieftain bad, lol W.
Like, I wish I could be more of a fan, but I just the 5% for, what is it, 500? I need it to be more impactful. I want it to be 1% for like 10,000, so it can just one shot. Right? Everyone's on board with me, right? Even lower proc charts. I think that's the main thing that made people like very salty about it, because you look at that and you're just like, oh wow, that's just bad, right? But then the rest of it, I think, has some potential. So I looked at it to begin with, and I thought, not too bad. Like the res stuff should be very strong for building max res. And then I didn't mind the strike stuff. I thought, yep, could build in some strike stuff. Overall, I mean, I think like few of the nodes are just a bit weaker than they need to be.
Yeah, it almost feels like they've almost made it a forbidden flesh bot for drug. But yeah, Quinn?
Do you know they can fix it, bro? Okay.
Add damage?
Well, right now, Chieftain's actually... it's OP. Do you know what's OP about Chieftain, bro? It's actually cracked. Because what you can do is you can play Jug, and then you get the duel, and then you just get the 90 max res on your Jug, and then you just become an unkillable.
That's what he just said.
That's what I just said, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm saying. But no. What they could do, though, is make Fist of War... Well, okay. We need a redesign of the fucking Tukohama strike, and just let Fist of War work with it, bro. Log in.
I thought they were going to do that, honestly. I thought that was part of the rework. So.
Yeah, well, it's stupid. Well, there's no niche. Like, the fucked up thing is this, right? So you're like, okay, they put all these ignite changes in to try and make attack ignites work. But do you know what makes attack ignites work really well? Is if you fish for a good ignite with volatility, you attack fast with control blaze support, and you basically use multi-strike because you can hit multiple times, and there's no downside because it says reduces attack damage, which doesn't affect ignite scaling. So then you get 44% damage multiplication on the second hit, as well as the faster attack speed. So you get this insane synergy. But guess what? Chieftain doesn't even fucking work with that because it only happens once every 2 seconds, and you can't multi-strike with it. So then, you can't... Basically, the synergy is not there for the way that they've redesigned ignites. So then it turns out Jug literally just becomes a better fucking ignite character than a fucking Chieftain, which is literally themed around being like a fire guy. Which, I don't know, that seems fucking stupid to me, right?
It was also really weird that Scion gets like a basically stronger strength thing than Chieftain itself. Like, Chieftain has like I think about like +2 flat strength, and then Scion still gets like some percentage strength. Something like that. It was
That
like,
dual node.
yeah.
What is that, bro? That dual node is fucking heinous.
Yeah,
That
I
thing is
think
like
just changing some of the things and adding some damage back in, like that's the problem, right? Like Chieftain just as an ascendancy just doesn't have damage. And it has like
Yep.
like when we were looking, I was trying really hard to make some sort of league starter tutorial build, right? Because it's a very some of the ascendancy nodes are really comfortable for a new player. You slap on Purity of Fire and you get a bunch of fire rest, and it's gonna be the some of the easiest gearing you're ever gonna do as a new player. So it's really nice for that. And the max rest stuff, like just slapping on a nice shield with max rest, like that stuff's really gonna be good and tanky for a new player. But you're not getting anything like ignite chance or anything to do with like the conversion being gone. It's really sad. It's a bit of a frustrating ascendancy. And I think the craziest thing, which we've seen a lot of clips of people talking about, the fact that it's not nerfed in Ruthless is like kind of insane. Like every ascendancy is like taken out back and shot in Ruthless, and then Chieftain's like, yeah, no, this is fine as it is.
No. But think about this. Chieftain's like think about the one that gives you fire res as other reses, and then your max fire is scales off your other. Like that is not like a stat. That is something that scales off your gear. Do you know what your shit in Ruthless is? Your gear is shit in Ruthless.
I mean, it's
like,
not hard to
like
get the rest of the Phoenix in Ruthless.
Well, I was like, but on a berserker, like 20 to 50 flat fizz is 20 to 50 flat fizz. So that scales better. Like your gear is your gear going to be far worse in Ruthless than it is in the normal game? It is, right? And then the majority of the Chieftain's nodes scale directly with your gear, which is why I feel like people are like saying, well, look, it's so shit, it doesn't even get nerfed. Well, no, Chieftain is kind of a niche outlying ascendancy because it is weird and it does scale heavily off the gear you have, right? Which is kind of like why that makes sense.
I agree with that, but also it's new. It's like revamped. Like I don't know, they want your Ruthless players to have a chance to play with it as well instead of just cutting in half for them immediately. That was my like take on that whole Ruthless thing. As soon as I saw that sort of comparison being drawn, I'm like, well, I don't know. I think it might just be because it's one of the new things that they would like you to experience at its full power, which you are saying it's not very powerful, but you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, it definitely does look like your Ruthless ascendancy. I just really wish it still had like at least some like conversion, the fire stuff, and then maybe some ignite chance or something. It's just like it just feels a little half baked right now. I think it'll be record numbers of low on PoE Ninja.
I think that could age poorly. Like we don't know where that's going to go. We'll see how it. Like,
you're absolutely right.
People take to it, what kind of builds pop off with it, because like so many times we just predict that an ascendancy change looks bad or some shit, or it's not going to be that played, or it's a bit mid, and then it becomes like the most flavor ascendancy.
Yeah, I mean it is new, so people will want to try it out. That's true. Like I was really looking hard into doing it if I was going to do the race, because like getting a free full powered melding is like really good, right? Like as long as I'm like immortal, getting there on day 2, day 3 with a proper melding, not having to farm for it, that could be good. But it was just hard to get damage on it.
I'm not a defense anti, right? I don't give a shit about defense most of the time. But when I see it's so easy to get, like these resist nodes, you've basically been given like 85 all res like by default.
Yeah,
that's insane. Like that could just make you like ignore so much other stuff by default with that, and then you could even like go into suppress with that, and then I think it has potential, especially on the strike end of things, because the ancestral call thing, you've got 2 additional strikes just straight up, and then it's 10% more damage as well, so it is a little bit of damage too.
What is it? I did the maths. It's level 23 Purity of Fire with an aura wheel and a +3 fire res chess piece implicit, and then you have to get 1 max res from one of the masteries, and then you're good with the max res nodes on the tree, the fire res max nodes. So it's still a little bit of investment, but yeah, it's super. Like you could do that easily in SSF, for example.
I'm saying to get to like 80. You're talking about 90, right?
90. I'm talking about 90, and
I'm talking
it's like
about
one piece of gear.
Just 85 is not that much investment. It's just like getting to 85 is still very powerful, and that's just like going to be the Purity of Fire, with a gem level or some shit. It's going to be like an Eldritch Implicit, another one, and maybe 1 node or something. That's like already 85.
It's going to be so good on my Juggernaut when I can finally get Forbidden Flesh Jewels.
If you can.
You'll never get that. You will literally never get that. I can like speaking
Ooh.
as I was trying to get that shit. I was trying to get any of the Zerka nodes on my jug, and I would take literally the shittiest chieftain node. I just wanted like the one that just give me like recovery and a little bit of fizz to like take
No,
it as
I
fire.
think I can get it. There'll be so many.
I was searching.
So many streamers are going trade this league, so that means like a lot more of like more viewers will follow, right? The more people are going trade, so it'll probably be like a lot more than normal.
I mean, we'll see.
Are you gonna go trade?
I mean,
are you SSF?
Me, I'm very no SSF. I don't like going trade because it triggers the shit on me, and I like the constraints of SSF because I don't have the choice of doing other things. I have to use what I've got, which just makes it more fun.
Right.
And on top of that, I get triggered because every time I fucking trade anyone, someone says I'm getting a handout. So it's like, you know what? It's just annoying. It's just annoying. So like, but to be fair, I just enjoy every time I play it. I just have more fun on SSF. And this is the build that I can't
not
play.
having a heat shiver. Out of curiosity.
Yeah, I'm thinking about dude. You know what's fucked up? I'm thinking about getting a build that requires heat shiver. Well, like will double my damage, you know. So
he's learned nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm pretty sure by the end of that saga, you would have like beat it into yourself and told yourself many times on stream, yeah, nah, not going to do something that relies on a unique like this again. That was a misplay. And here you are.
Yeah, heat shiver is common. I mean, it took me till level 97 to get my other one.
By then.
Yeah, but I mean, I that's why I can't get unlucky twice, right? So surely.
Later in the league, Quinn, would you be down for like a streamer SF Ruthless?
ABR.
Wait, Starfield's coming out, bro. So I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm gonna play that or wait or like I don't know.
Right.
It depends on how I'm feeling. You know. I mean, yeah, I'd just say vibe. Put me down as tentative as always,
right.
And then depending on the vibe check at the time, you know.
Maybe we can get Methel for some hardcore Ruthless.
So like, why?
Why not?
Is the question.
Why not? I just want to try it.
I can give you a fuck ton of why not. I mean, why?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I said I was going to try Ruthless once it had a movement ability, and it has one now, so I do want to try it. PoE2 practice.
There
you go.
No, I don't see it. I just don't see it. Like, I've given it a shot, and it was fine for what it is, like in its testing phase, and attempting to try it. But outside of that, I just see it as a strictly infinitely less fun version of PoE, and I don't know why I would ever go back.
That's fair.
You need to talk to Crip, bro. Straight up.
I've talked to him a lot, and yeah, he tried. He talked about his Ruthless, and he loves it, and I love my own thing, and we're fine with it.
That's fair. Guardian rework. Any thoughts on that? I really don't have anything. I'm not very interested in Guardian, but anyone else got any thoughts on it?
No.
Oh, I guess me then. So I was originally looking to do an Arakali Fang build, and so I was pulse tramping super hard on my Ascendancy because of the Guardian rework, because we only got the numbers for that recently. That did not pan out, but they still got me curious, because instead of, obviously they're not poison scaling, they're, what is it again? It's Hatred, Wrath, and Anger level 27.5. So then that got my mind thinking, with the new support gem, Fresh Meat, you could do maybe an animate weapon Guardian, and there's a little bit more synergy there because a lot of people are sleeping on the first node, because the first node it's something like 50 to 100k DPS at endgame Righteous Fire minion that you will have really good uptime on. It lasts like 20 seconds by base, and you scale that duration to like 50 seconds on an animate weapon build. The cool thing about that is effectively you've got this super tanky minion to tank everything, and it will kill trash, which will allow you to get weapons natty without having to... You don't have to blade fall necessarily. You can just clear trash with that minion instead. And so I think an animate weapon Guardian could be legit. And I have a POB that's like 50 million DPS or something.
Wow.
So I'm like super tempted.
It's gonna log in, bro.
Yeah, I was like, write that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you maintain the swords? Do you change the command on the boss, or how does that work?
No, so the idea wasn't for it to be... I could still look at chains of command, but I wanted to do fourth vow because it's hard to get suppression on Guardian. So I was going to go fourth vow, Glorious Vanity, and then just use that for my early mitigation. get a bit of armor, get your fizz mitigation. You got block also for your minions to keep them alive. I think it could work. I absolutely think it could work.
Oh, you couldn't even use Chains of Command.
The Val animate weapon? Because that looked really cool.
I didn't.
Has anyone used it?
No, I've seen people use it. It just seems like a big burst of single target, right? Because it gives you like extra minions. So.
Yeah, like different.
Wait, I completely
bigger weapons.
Yeah, I fucking spaced out. Well, you can like summon the weapons now by shooting shit in the ground or something now. Because back in my day, mate, you could either get animate guarding working by killing mobs, or by using the Chains of Command. That was it. But I guess you'd shoot the ground with blades or something, and then you summon them.
So all those blade skills that leave lingering blades, you can't. There's blade blast, but there's also animate weapon synergy because those also count as like white weapons, basically. So it's become, I would say, infinitely easier to play animate weapon. The main reason people don't play it still is SRS is just a lot comfier, and the weapons do die. So, but technically speaking, animate weapon is a better version of SRS if you can handle the playstyle and if the minions don't die all the time. They do normally die though, but that's why I'm thinking you got the max block from the Guardian that applies to your minions. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I mean, that's interesting. Any other thoughts on the Guardian rework before we move on? Excellent.
I was gonna say time and need. I was thinking about making a melee elemental one, but then I was like, time and need combined with the fucking rage gloves, bust out some fucking badass attacks. But then I just like, wait, I should just play an Inquisitor. This is just better, and then it was. So then I just fuck that shit.
Yeah. Well, I think a nice segue is starter builds. Win, what are you starting? I heard something about Heat Shiver.
Well, I don't know. I really want to play Infernal Blow, but then I look at Infernal Blow and it's like, okay, I have to like attack 6 times to get like an explosion, which gives me a decent ignite that does some amount of damage, and it's gonna. I don't know. The in-game deeps of it looks extremely. It starts off kind of okay, and then it just falls off super hard. Unless I go like a fucking softcore ascendancy, which I'm not going to do that, right? I'm going to play some softcore ascendancy. So then I'm thinking, well, maybe I start off Infernal Blow, vibe out, do some white maps, do some yellow maps, and then I line up, right? Like I loot a Heat Shiver, loot a Frost Breath, and then I go, and I switch to Glacial Hammer.
I was going to say, like, you could just actually treat starter build as a starter build and just, farm up some shit and just have some fun with a skill you've been looking forward to trying, some shit. And then, either make a second character or swap into the bigger stuff when it needs to happen.
Yeah, I was thinking swapping in, but I don't know how hard that is to really, because the dude, like, I'm talking this Infernal Blow shit, bro. Like, it's hard to get damage on that. Like, you gotta like. Yeah, you got to get like the fucking the devouring whatever it is, the faster ignite belt, to actually do any amount of like legitimate damage. Dynam don't whatever. You know what it is, bro. Like the fucking 6 link, and then like okay, you could probably do like low tier red maps, like comfortably. No, we clear shit hella good. I'm talking like you will do infinity damage inside the map when there's multiple targets, but then the second you get to a boss, it's just gonna be kind of. I'm thinking kind of like a shitty bleed build, like a shitty, more annoying bleed build. But then I don't know. Glacial Hammer with trauma, it looks fucking crazy though. So then I'm thinking maybe I just fucking start off with that.
Especially in SSF, there's nothing wrong with like Methel said, like having like something that's just like comfy and fun early, comes online fast, and then maybe falls off and you see what you've dropped.
I'll just mention for the Glacial Hammer stuff, trauma, that everyone's like kind of looking at a Frost Breath. Like, yeah, that's got potential, and maybe it's great, but my experience with Frost Breath is it might be a bit too slow of a play style for people to enjoy. Like, don't by all means get baited in by it, but it might just be a bit slow.
Bro, I played it multiple
the weapon
times.
swing, it can feel slow.
I mean, it's slow at first, but once you build it, bro, once you get
Yeah,
some
well,
shit in there,
exactly.
pops
You're gonna have
off.
to solve the problem of the slow, which is solvable by all means.
Bro,
Just
have you seen what I play?
maybe some people won't get there.
I mean, those guys,
Yeah, I've seen some Quinn builds in my time.
like, dude, I used to play EQ Mahoriori. Okay, like a 0.5, like literally less than an attack per second, easily.
Dude,
Okay, we're talking.
Before the rest of us, eh?
I
Yeah,
still
literally.
remember I hosted you one day, Quinn, and you were playing Glacial. What's that? Ice Crash. You were playing Ice Crash Elementalist, and you were doing Infested
Yeah.
Valley. And you looked like you were so like you were like having a mental breakdown over how long it was taking you to fight this boss. It was like 2 minutes on a map boss.
Yeah, it was because I needed my cluster duel set up because Ignite had no good
You
fucking
still
damage
remember,
wheels in the
huh?
tree.
You still
Yeah,
remember?
I logged into that character today, bro. It was a fucking witch.
No.
It was a witch with a fucking a carry chopper.
No.
Yeah. Fist of War, 2 War
Shit.
Cries snapshot. It was basically Bleed EQ except
Shit.
with Ignite.
Damn.
Yeah.
Mathel, what about you? What are you league starting?
I still don't really know. I'm still putting together like a POB or two for just start a video because I hate POBing shit and theory crafting all the way through. I like to have a generic concept, or not generic, a general concept
Yeah.
of what I want to do, and then build into it as I go. Whereas this is like, okay, we've got to put the gear on, we've got to make sure this functions and all that shit. So I'm still struggling to put some of that together, but I think I've come down between Trickster, Ethereal Knives, and Blade Blast, so both on the one thing, or Stormburst Totems. Those are
Very
things
cool.
I'm going to put into a video, and
Yeah.
I'm still deciding between the two of those as to what I'll play.
That's very similar for me. Like what I hate as well with like POB and stuff. Like I hate that it's like everything has to be like fully min maxed from the start. I love just like stealing a build that's like kind of done from Noogie and then min maxing it like step by step. But like literally like from scratch, like the way Steel does, like sitting there like 13 hours in POB, like oh I can get like 3% more damage here. I'm like fucking every time I want like something min max from the start, I'm like Steel, can you just like min max this for me? I can't be fucked.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. That looks like torture to me.
Yeah, same.
Well, when I actually have to think of something smart, like what you do, Mathel, like a concept, can't do it, man. I blank. But if I can take a build that you make and then add like 50% more HP.
How often have you tried to do it still?
I did it with Static Strike one time, and I got to Blood Aqueducts, and then I didn't even take it to maps. I was like, this doesn't work that well.
So what are we talking, like 5 years ago or some shit?
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Maybe you should test yourself. You might surprise, like with all the knowledge you've accumulated, surely you fucking pop off.
Dude, ever since I started streaming, I'm very adverse to failure. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I don't want to make it. I don't want to build to suck. So.
Yeah.
And I can't just build more damage.
That's the fun. That's the fun part, bro. Finding out, like you go in, don't even POB that shit properly because that's boring and bitched. Because then where's the fun in solving it all, right?
Can I just say
beforehand, and then just either it works or it's dog shit, and then that's the fun part.
The dog shit part, I mean, I've seen some of your builds, and the fact that you can mentally persevere doing like 500k DPS in red maps is extremely impressive to me.
Yeah.
When it comes online, bro. When it comes online eventually. And if it doesn't, then it's like depressing and you're like, all right. Then you just die randomly and you just go again. You
admitted it.
You just go again.
I think you straight up cannot even fathom the mental fortitude that a Quinn 69 has. Still like it's unbelievable, right?
It is.
Yeah, it literally
is. Literally is. Steel, what are you league starting?
All right. So first of all, I was gonna race. I was gonna do the solo stuff and hardcore race. I was thinking what cool prizes they might have, and I was gonna do Elementalist DD, tried, true, tested, and it's a bit outside of my comfort zone because usually I play a tankier variant of that. So this would be a bit more aggressive, like a more skill check sort of play style. Like Ben was doing Uber runs with like 10-hour gear, and he basically just can't get hit by anything, but he can do it because he just doesn't get hit at this point. Then they announced the race rewards, and I was actually glad because they weren't so appealing or necessary that I was forced to race. I know I'm misusing the term forced, but you know what I mean, right? Like I don't have to race. And so then I was like, okay. I'm just gonna do what I want, and I decided not to race, and I'm gonna play hardcore trade. And then I was like, okay, well, I want to build that Fox, and I don't care if I have to get a bit of gear for it. So I landed on Arakalis, which is where the Guardian story from before came. So unless I get baited to play the animate weapon build, I'm just gonna do the Arakali champion. But obviously you can't league start that. You have to build into it. So I was gonna play Bone Shatter Slayer, which I know that's like an old build or whatever. I've never played it though. It's my first time.
True. I mean, you haven't played Bone Zone, bro? Okay.
No,
I mean, shit.
I haven't.
You're gonna become a fan, bro. Log in.
So I'm gonna give it a go. So.
Bro, don't even do. Bro, I'm telling you, okay? Bone Shatter, Pillar of the Cage Gods, Juggernaut, okay? Hear me out. It's so much more PogChamp. And it fucking owns. It fucking owns. And you could, if you're in Trade League, bro, you could do like some crazy 10k EHP fucking bloodthirst shit. You go fucking. To be fair, you don't even need to do that, by the way. And you know, but you could. You could if you're in Trade League. There's a lot, you know. I'm talking, yeah. No, it's not 10k DPS. Big dick.
The only reason I wanted to do Slayer is because I can respec it to champion. But I think I get the feeling I'm gonna enjoy Bone Zone enough as a build that I can take it all the way and then reroll.
Yeah.
So like, we'll see. I could do the jug thing. I could.
Bone Zone is really fun for mapping, but then like doing bosses with it, I wanted to literally delete the character. I hated it so much.
I have zero intention of doing Ubers on Bone Zone.
Yeah. Like I get why Karn wanted to farm Mage Blood for doing Ubers. Like, it's an experience. I am actually surprisingly gonna play Explosive Arrow. I didn't play it last week, so it's been 6 months or something since I've played it now, and I don't know. I just really want to have like it's such a I don't know. I love build comfort. I just love build comfort for my starter. Well, it's so nice, right?
Selfcast or Totem?
No, Totem. Because I love Champion. Champion it's getting buffed. Like EA's getting buffed, Champion's getting buffed this week. So it's like, it's a sign. I kind of have to. And I always end up having so much more fun every day where I like set myself up strong in the start and then can do whatever. And that's especially true if I'm going to play Trade League, right? So yeah, I'm excited. I love playing it. I genuinely just love the build, the way it feels. Those red little circles of death on the ground. It's.
I know what's gonna kill you, bro. I'm telling you right now. So you're gonna be AFK reading chat, because you're gonna be having totems just annihilate it. Like it's like 3 screens ahead of you every time you like put it down, and then one of those little spider guys is gonna like explode a corpse. He's gonna be doing one of this, and you'll be looking at your chat, and it's gonna go bang, and your champion's just gonna explode and die.
Maybe.
One shot. That's gonna happen.
Well, the last time my league started, I think was the time I did the last time my league started Explosive Arrow. I think it was when I did the subathon. I didn't die the first month, and then I died a lot. So hopefully I have that. I really, really want to try for a league with 0 deaths. Like last thing I played like 600-700 hours and I had 3 deaths.
Badge, bro. That's badge. That's badge.
I was gonna say that month without any deaths must have been boring. Like the deaths.
Fucking pain champ.
That's what keeps shit fresh. The
Yeah.
excitement.
I mean,
Real talk.
Right.
The best time I had watching a Twitch streamer was Quinn in Metamorph when he died 20. Back me up here.
It was a big number.
Man's got to reinvent himself every day. Like that's
I
good.
died 13 times in Metamorph. It's my most death as well. It was Metamorph was something else, dude. It was.
That was a league. Yeah.
That was a league. Oh my god! Especially with the bug with what was it bugged with? It was bugged with Prophecy. Was it bugged with Bestiary as well?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was both with Prophecy and Bestiary. It like had like a 10x multiplier on the damage. So like the ice storm rain from like some of the things were like insane. God, I hated that. Metamorph is actually the #1 league I would remove from the game. Not a fan.
Even now, like when it's all fine, fixed up.
I just don't like it. I just have PTSD every time I see Tanya, like flinch a little bit. I'm like, ugh.
I like it, bro, because you get fucking Turbo HUD for free, you know? You just can see them, like, all the elites on the map
I love that.
as you run around.
I love that. I wish you
know,
could see elites on the map.
You just don't do the mechanic. You just see the elites on the map and you just leave the place. Don't even do it. It's free free HUD.
I unironically use Metamorph Scarabs when I do rippy Hydra maps. You know, the layer of the Hydra. Yeah, because it actually helps just a little bit.
Yeah,
that's smart.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Right. I think we're mostly done with all the topics. Is there anything else anyone wanted to discuss?
Pretty
I
good.
think we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one. I'm
well, wait. I mean, well, you guys could tell me how can I make my Ignite guy do more damage? Like I need some fucking is there any secret tech to making the Ignite guy not be like a complete piece of shit outside of having like mirror tear gear? I need some tech
of the
here.
life nodes.
get a died in dog.
Like I need some tech, but like I want to be inspired to go Infernal Blog. But I just need more damage output. You know, it's just I don't know.
I'd have to think about it. Oh, we missed some Atlas Tree keystones as well, actually.
True. They are adding a lot of new Atlas Tree keystones. That's true. We could briefly talk about that as a last topic. They're actually pretty exciting. I really like that. Is it the 8th gate or 7th gate?
Yeah, the Unleash All League one, right? Like you can choose any previous league or whatever. Is it that one?
Yeah.
Isn't the 8th gate the one where you pick the crafting mechanic or something?
Yeah,
Wait, it
yeah.
unlocks every map device thing. So even if it's not on the
Yeah.
map device, it'll add it. I think that's awesome.
Pretty
I like it. And like just I don't know, just the Atlas tree in general. I love how I've never seen a streamer have like the same tree pretty much ever. Like you can't go wrong. I love it. I've also never seen anyone go like, "Oh, you have a dog shit Atlas tree." It's all just preference, and it's so well made.
Bro, let me tell you, bro. I regretted. I went Blight League. I started off as Blight League in SFHC last league,
What?
and it was the biggest regret of my life. It was
What?
fucking trash. Bro, I couldn't get any base types. I had no good gear. I regret. I didn't go Harvest. I didn't go Expedition. Yeah, I literally started Blight, bro. And I wrote down on my fucking thing like, cunt. You are going Expedition, okay? You do not. It doesn't matter how much you don't like it and you want to go Blight. You are going Expedition because you need the bases, okay? You need the higher level gear and like Rogue just shits out like good items. It's just like or you do Harvest, right? And like fuck Harvest, but so I'm just you definitely can mess up your trees on SSF anyway. Just like I would just disagree from personal experience.
I guess. Especially as an early
Speaking
thing.
of
And
Blight-
SSF is a bit different, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
Speaking of Blight though, guys, that new Blight node, eh? That new Blight node though.
That is very cool. That's
Okay.
like I kind of wish Blight was like that by default. I think
100%.
Same.
Well, this is what we were talking about earlier, right? Where you know, I personally think you guys say I don't, but I think I do want to just kill the mobs right myself and ignore the tower defense. But this is like leaning into the tower defense fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Like you can actually TD it up.
I think it should go one step further as well. Okay, and the node should do two things. It should also, on top of what it does, it increases like the damage of the towers, reduces your damage. It should also give you, like, I'm talking big, huge damage reduction because I don't think Blight monsters should be able to just like one shot you. You know, like you come around a corner and like 500 goats to shoot you and you just die because you're just trying to like build a tower.
Even worse than that is when a boss just randomly gets DD'd and there's literally nothing a build can do to take it. It's just so dumb.
It's trash.
I've died to that.
They shouldn't be doing. They should be doing damage. Like it's ridiculous, and that should be added onto the node. And that that node should just be baked into the game by default. Stratus, and then also it should turn the towers into monkeys.
Towers into monkeys.
Yeah,
You should also be able to spend
Right.
$10 to enhance your towers at a higher rate, right?
Oh, you do Tower MTX. Holy shit! Do a crossover with Ninja Kiwi, dude. That's a good idea. Fucking the little
could,
dot
right?
monkeys.
But, yeah,
That'd be sick, bro. I would log in.
Holy. Did we talk about the expedition node yet, by the way?
No, we didn't. I really like that one, but it's also like, I guess it depends heavily what build you're playing.
Yeah, because you don't want to spawn an immunity accidentally, right?
Yeah, but if you have a build that can do anything, then yeah, it's so nice. That's my least favorite part of Expedition. Like, I really dislike Expedition, and the fact that I have to like choose and pick and be like, okay, I want that. Ugh. So I love that one.
It's liking Expedition, not based.
Well, and it's also just like too rewarding almost. Like on SSF, you need it, right? You basically need it for your League Start. It's how you get every item base and just all the currency you need. So I don't know. Not a huge fan. That's why I really like both Ultimatum and Sanctum for SSF, because I was just waiting in Chaos Orbs, right? Like Sanctum, I hit over 2,000 or 3,000 Chaos Orbs while actively using them. So I actually could use map device stuff for a change. And like Ultimatum was like 800. Whereas I think Crucible, I think I peaked at like 100 or something. I was like, Chaos Orbs, please.
Do you not think the Expedition is a great example showing like as why would they need like another more league mechanics that buff like I want to be able to spec into like ground loot league. Like I want to like just a ROG league. You could get rid of all the other fucking vendors. I don't care. I just want a league mechanic that I can spec into that just says, okay, you just randomly get good bases, which good rolls every now and then. But it might be for a build that you can't use. It might be for whatever. But I straight up want more like that.
Well, that's why I was so excited for when they were talking about Loot 2.0, which they've sort of like walked away from. But I thought what they were gonna do was like insane cull on loot, like 90% removal of all like random trash you drop, but then have that things are smart rolled. So like if you drop an amulet, it's a like pretty decent chance that it will be an interesting amulet at least. So I love the idea of that. I love the loot that's like the end of heist.
Old
and I was hoping, yeah. Oh my god, old talismans were so exciting. I actually didn't even find like an amazing talisman in that league, but at least I like bothered to look. Whereas now I'm like, these are literal alteration charts.
Do you know why this will never happen? Those is
why?
It's just fucking trade league, bro. It's fucking Mathels. It's his fault. Okay, it's all the trade league Andes. They can't. It's too OP for trade league, bro. Because guess what? All these good up bases flood the market. Everyone just has insane gear. And then they circumvent the whole fucking gearing process, and then it just ruins the game. So it's like, hey, you know, Loot 2.0, and give us a league mechanic. Just fucking nerf it in Trade League. Let SSF players enjoy it because it's balanced. GG no dude.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're picking SSF because it's harder, right? So I think that's fine. I don't really have a problem with the way things are in SSF. The only problem I have with SSF is not being able to swap Uber fragments. That's the only problem I have. Literally nothing else. That's the only thing that's dumb. Can't think of anything else that would change. I just play SSF because I want it to be harder.
Yeah, I want it to be harder as well, but I just like having some things just completely like a Moriori, for example. Like that's a really unique cool item, and I would just like, man, I would love to get one of those and have a pathway to farm that item out and use it. And then just having no way of doing that, like I can play my entire life and never get that.
Yeah, I think the difference between you and me there is I generally pick like a super generic starter and then just let the loot choose what I'm going to play. Whereas
that's a cool way of doing it.
Yeah, whereas you like pick a build you want to play and then try to farm for it.
Yeah, well, I do both, right? I do both. But then sometimes I like see an interaction and I'm like, oh, well, this change will be so good, dude. Like Frozen Legion came out. Holy shit, this would be so good if I had fucking Moriori. Like I really want to use this new ability with Moriori.
Moriori. Aren't you from New Zealand?
You can use Stress the Treasure now, Quinn.
That's true.
Yeah, I can use Stress the Treasure now. Yeah, if I can ever loot that item. If it's like, I don't know if it's going to be like a Muratier thing or what the fuck. But maybe it's farmable. Who knows? I would love it. So what I'm saying is I disagree with this in the respect that you're saying you only want that. I would also want a specific way of just target farming any unique in the game eventually, right? Eventually.
Like you have
somehow.
Now.
Well, we don't know, right? We don't. Well, now we have Trash or Treasure, so maybe, but not really. It's not because it's like I don't count like chance orbs. You can chance orb
Discord's
like
spazzing out for me right now. Everyone's lagging a lot.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. I'm fine.
It did like a little lag thing for me too.
Oh shit.
I think it's a good enough time to wrap it up.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's end it there. Mathel, where can people find more of your content?
Twitch.tv/Mathel1. Mathel exists on Instagram and Twitter. X, Twitter, whatever. It's Twitter.
It's Twitter.
And yeah, I'll be on, I don't know, probably an hour before launch, maybe earlier, and I'll try and cosplay something.
Nice.
Prepare your disappointment.
No, we'll hype it up. It's gonna be the best cosplay yet. Quinn, where can people find you?
Yo.
Yo.
Was
What?
that on purpose?
Huh?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he was supposed to go like 30 minutes ago, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's got.
So maybe he just fucking bowed because of that. I don't know. I'm guessing he lost track of time.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Either way, you can find him at Quinn69 on everything. Deal, where can people find you? You're Quinn now.
You got. Oh. Yo.
You can find him at Steel Mage everywhere, and you can find me at Zizaran everywhere. This was a great cast. I hope you all enjoyed it. Matthew, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, man. Fucking here we go.
The
Just the try-hard streamers left here.
the only one courteous enough not to leave weirdly. All right.
I don't know.
All right. It was good seeing you at XLCon, dude.
Yeah, it was fun.
I will.
You doing anything else? Do you go to like anything else? TwitchCons or anything?
I might go to TwitchCon in A. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It just depends on time
Oh,
and
I'll
stuff.
definitely go if you go.
Okay.
Well, we can hang out. It's fun.
Yeah, but you shouldn't hinge the TwitchCon on whether or not one.
No,
of the
because
streamers go.
literally all that matters is who do you know that's going, right? If I'm the only cunt I know that's there, that's like kind of boring. Like same with like I'd be more inclined to go if Steel wants to go too. So
I don't know. It should be a thing for its own sake, I think. I don't know what to expect with it. I've never been to one. So
you should try one.
Walk around and just fucking go bouldering and fucking
and escape
do
rooms.
a bit of TwitchCon. Yeah.
But yeah. All right, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks so much. Hope everybody enjoyed watching YouTube, and we'll see you all later.